as two of the best in the game go head-to-head. Now in his 8th season, Cole Hamills is a 3-time All-Star and World Series MVP. And this year, he's among the league leaders in earned run average. Just 25 years old, Madison Bumgarner is the Giants' ace. His 13 wins put him near the top in all of baseball this year. Two premier lefties, both at the top of their game. Game 1 of the series next. From the shores of McCovey Cove in downtown San Francisco, it's the Giants hosting the Philadelphia Phillies at 24 Willie Mays Plaza. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow. Dwayne Kuiper will be along in the middle innings. Dave Fleming is on assignment. The Giants, 5.5 back of the Dodgers in the West, and just a game out of the wild card at the moment. So the Giants are in the running in a couple of different ways, but they're going to have to get their season turned around, and it needs to happen now. They're playing the Phillies, who are down right now. It's a kind of a lost season for the Phillies, except they've got one of the best pitchers in the game going tonight, Cole Hamills, who shut the Giants down in Philadelphia last month. But Madison Bumgarner going for the Giants, he shut the Phillies down when he faced them last month. However, then there's the matter of Bumgarner's home starts not so good.
We can't really figure out Madison Bumgarner at home this year. I mean, he hasn't had a quality start here in San Francisco in 2 months. That's crazy when you consider that on the road he's 10-4. Here at AT&T he's 4-7. His ERA on the road 1.72. His ERA here at AT&T 5.60. Now you look back historically, that's how he's done the last several years. The last 2 years combined, his ERA at home was 2.36. So what does it all mean? It means that he's due for a good start, and they need it because they're facing a tough lefty. As you mentioned, Cole Hamills, the last time he saw the Giants in Philadelphia, he allowed 1 run in 8 innings. He struck out 10. So the Giants, they got their hands full. It figures to be all about pitching.
All right, so it's a beautiful night here at the ballpark, and the Giants up against the Phillies, Bumgarner against Hamills. When we come back, Amy G will revisit Bumgarner's dominant start at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Stay tuned. Amy G back right after this.
Giants are ready to kick off a 3-game series right here at AT&T Park against the Philadelphia Phillies. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and your San Francisco Giants are sending Madison Bumgarner to the hill this evening. And if history is due to repeat itself, then the Giants may very well be sitting pretty this evening. Madison against the Phillies in his last outing facing them, he was stellar. Tonight we're going to take a look back at that. It's our Ford right choice. Ford is the right choice for California. Test drive one of our efficient new models today. Now you are looking at July 23rd at Philadelphia. Mad Bum gave up 5 hits, no walks, struck out 6. He threw just 93 pitches over 8 innings of work, and the Giants went on to win 3-1. Now Bumgarner's numbers at home versus away are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. On the road, he's 9-3 with a 1.72 ERA, but right here at AT&T Park, he has struggled. He's 4-6 with a 5.60 ERA. So tonight, Madison obviously looking to bring those numbers down, have a solid outing, and your San Francisco Giants, they're looking for a W. John Miller, Mike Kricko have the call this evening, but after these messages, we're going to check in with our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update. Stay with us.
It is Orange Friday. The orange jerseys, the orange tie. On our analyst, Bill Lasky, his Friday.
Orange
Friday best.
Good luck.
Freed, Bill Lasky in our Comcast Sportsnet studios. We do have the Phillies in town, and we have a matchup of 2 of the best left-handers in the game, Madison Bumgarner, Cole Hamills. But for Mad Bum, you really scratch your head over this. ERA on the road, 172. ERA at home, 560.
And it continues. He's struggling at home, getting the ball up, giving up a lot of hits. Here's against Pittsburgh. He only lasted 4 innings in this game, gave up 5 earned runs. Then you look at the Arizona Diamondbacks. He only lasted 6 innings, gave up 10 hits. The balls are up, the hands down under the ball. And next thing you know, the balls are getting out of the park, and he's giving up a lot of hits.
Yeah, last year was flipped. Last year's ERA at home was 2.33. On the road was 3.12, so he can get it back on track. He has proved he can pitch well at AT&T Park. Cole Hamills, on the other hand, July 24th against the Giants, was very good. 8 innings, 10 Ks, 1 earned run. What's some of the stuff that he did that made him so effective out there?
Well, not just that game. His last 5 starts, he's only given up 3 earned runs. Against the Giants here, the big hook, big start hook, and he gets it down in the zone. Hitters just can't pick up the spin of the ball. If you look at his release point, it's always in the same spot. Here's another one right there, freezes Mike Morse. And then you look at his changeup. His changeup is masterful. It gets the hitter on his front foot, looks like a fastball, and just drops out of the strike zone. He does this countless times. He's always around the plate. He hasn't walked many batters this whole year. Again, gets Michael Morse on that front foot. The front shoulder opens, strike 3.
So you got 2 of the best lefties in the game. If you're a batter on either team right now, what are you looking for? Make him throw strikes? You're just looking for your pitch? What do you look for against
Well,
two of the
every
best?
hitter's learned that you have to go out there and look fastball first. Once you look fastball, then you can decide on what you're going to look for, off speed or breaking ball. Both these guys are going to pitch fast. Should be a fast-paced game.
Giants coming off an off day and a win before that. We'll see if that momentum can build towards a series win here against the Phillies. We do remind you that after the game, tune it over to Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We do have a full breakdown of the post-game show. Bill Lasky will be here with his orange tie, along with Dave Feldman and myself, to break it down, the highlights, the post-game reaction, and more. All right, we'll send it back out to AT&T Park right after this.
In the field.
All right, time now for a roundtable key ingredients of the game. Been sputtering. They need to crank it up. It's getting late into the season. Number 2. We need the road bump. That's right. On the road, 9-3 with a 1.72 ERA at home. 4.6 ERA at 5.60. They need to get a quality start out of Bumgarner. He has not had one in 2 months here at AT&T. Those are your roundtable key ingredients.
Let's take a look now at the batting order for the Philadelphia Phillies. Brought to you by your Northern California Lexus dealers. It'll be Ben Revere leading it off in center field, and he's been hot. Jimmy Rollins, the Bay Area native, the shortstop, and he's been hitting a lot of home runs here in the second half of the season, especially. Rollins, 15 big flies. Chase Utley at second base, and he's hitting .414 in his last 8 games. Ryan Howard is third in the league in RBIs at first base. Marlon Byrd in right field. Carlos Ruiz, the catcher. Darren Ruff, left field. Cody Ashe at third, and Cole Hamills, the pitcher. And they have 5 left-handed hitters in the lineup against that man, Madison Bumgarner.
Who is making start number 26, 25-year-old lefty, making the 26 start. He is 13-9 with a 3.22 ERA. And when you take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a fastball with a lot of cut, slider, curveball, changeup. Bumgarner lifetime against the Phillies, 2-2 with a 2.89 ERA. So he's always pitched well against them. He hasn't always gotten the runs.
2-0. Revere, who's not a big guy, hitting .309. He only has 1 home run and only 13 runs batted in. But he's been knocking out a lot of hits here lately. He's got a lot of speed. Pablo plays him shallow at third. That will go back out of play. And he patiently took those first 2 pitches, but that is not the norm for him. Revere has had 427 official at bats, and he's had 10 walks. Just 10.
Well, the evening has started off fantastically for this couple.
She got the baseball. He got the nachos. Everybody's happy.
He got the kiss. We're good. Yep, baseballs have definitely put a smile on your face. Should be telling that story all weekend long.
She's the woman who caught the ball. 2-2 to Revere. And it's a full count now.
Alan Porter, the plate umpire, has got a zone. I think he's basically a low ball guy, but you will see some belt high strikes called. It is a zone that will float. It is not a consistent zone, and that's when he runs into problems. It can be big early. It can get small. It can be the opposite that way. It bounces around.
Strikeout for Bumgarner. 1 away.
Take a look at the defense for the Giants. Starting in the Giants outfield from left to right, it'll be Morris, Pagan, Vince. Good arms across the board. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side. Panic and Duvall on the right side. And Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Now Jimmy Rollins. Rollins has 15 homers and 50 driven in so far this year. And he was hitting a lot of home runs when the Giants were in Philly last month. He takes a called strike. Although that has kind of dried up for him here lately.
More hits than any other Philly. I think that's a pretty cool accomplishment.
Back out of play. Rollins, a switch hitter, hitting only .225 right-handed, and only 2 home runs and 120 official at bats right-handed. So he's quickly behind in the count, 0-2. A ball and 2 strikes now. J-Roll, that's his nickname in the clubhouse. And there was a lot of talk about maybe J-Roll being traded to a contending team, but he kind of made it clear he really didn't want to go to a contending team. He was intending to stay with the Phillies. 1-2 the count. Look at it. That almost hit him.
Those are easy takes too. And see Bumgarner slapping the glove. Not satisfied with those last 2 pitches. I mean, we're trying to get out of the way, playing dodgeball. I mean, it's a pretty easy take for a hitter. Ideally, when you're ahead the count 0-2, 1-2, you want to throw something up there that teases him, gets him to go out of the zone and chase.
And the curve is off the outside. So it was 0-2. Now it's 3-2.
Still looking for that rhythm. And that has been the problem here at AT&T. Come off a road start, absolutely look sharp as a tack rhythm-wise. Come here, get on this mound, and he cannot find it.
Struck him out. So it goes to 3-2 on Revere. And punches him out and does the same with Rollins.
Now this is a big league slider right here. I mean, for Jimmy Rollins, I mean, he's in the protect mode. This thing just completely explodes down towards his back foot. 2 swing and miss strike threes. So the stuff is there. He just needs to harness it.
Two down, nobody on. Here is Chase Utley. Hot lately. And that curve just a little bit off the outside. Utley, 288 average, 11 homers, 28 doubles, 4 triples. He's got a 356 on base percentage. And just under an 800 OPS. And that is a called strike. 94-mile-an-hour heater on the outside. See how the Giants are playing Chase Utley, the center fielder, Pagan, a little bit over toward left, and 3 infielders to the right side. They're playing him to pull big time on the infield. The wind blowing out toward left. He's into the second deck off the third base side. 1-2. Another catch.
Without a glove. Commando.
Got a fist bump, no kiss. One ball, 2 strikes to Utley. 2 down, nobody on. Here is Cole Hamills looking on for the Phillies dugout. Hamills has not pitched here in 3 years.
That's so odd that he has missed the Giants the last couple of years here. He's been hot, 3-1 with an 0.73 ERA.
That will also go out of play off the left field line.
When you watch Cole Hamills swing, his head really stays still. And that's always been one of his strongest assets as a hitter. Great plate coverage. Really gives himself a good look.
Right into the defense. Joe Panic. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Madison Bumgarner. Pagan, Pence, Posey coming up for the Giants. As Cole Hamills takes his warm-ups on the mound, and the Giants batting order now presented by Audi. Truth in engineering. It'll be Angel Pagan leading it off, center field. Hunter Pence, right field. Buster Posey, the catcher, and he has done very well against Hamills. over the years. 8 for 14 with a homer, a .571 average. Pablo Sandoval, third base. Michael Morris, left field, hitting fifth. Adam Duvall at first base. Joe Panic hit seventh at second. Brandon Crawford has hit very well against lefties this year at shortstop, and Bumgarner, the pitcher, batting ninth.
On the hill tonight for the Phillies will be the left-hander Cole Hamills. Hamills, 30 years old. He's in his 9th year at the big league level. 6'3", 195-pounder. This year in 21 starts, 6-6, 2.37 ERA, which tells you they have not given him a lot of great run support.
Pagan started to move his hands apart on the bat as if thinking about laying down a bunt. He took it for ball one.
You take your at-bats against Hamills, you're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid-90s. He'll sink, he'll cut it. Big curveball, a slider, and a tremendous changeup.
2-0.
The Giants saw Hamills in Philadelphia. They saw a lot of sliders early and a lot of changeups late. So he will definitely have a game plan tonight. Has a lot of confidence in all of his pitches. Will throw them in at any time.
That was a little bit low. Hunter Pence on deck. The last time these teams met, July the 24th in Philly, it was Cole Hamills on the mound. And now they face again. Here's Hamills again. Taking all the way, and it's 3-1 to Pagan. Hamills in that game on July 24th, 8 strong innings, 1 run, 6 hits allowed, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk. Had a 2-1 win. That's a base hit. It was interesting. Pagan, before that pitch came in, took a quick glance over to the left side of the infield, almost as if you check out where Ashe was, and went ahead and hit a single right through the left side.
Well, let's take a look at that defense the Phillies will employ tonight behind Cole Hamills. Starting in the outfield, it'll be Ruff, Revere, and Bird. Rollins and Ashe on that left side. Utley joined by Howard on the right side. Carlos Ruiz, the veteran catcher. He'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
Hunter Pence now. Pence, 286 average, 15 homers. And that's out of play off to the right. Going after that high fastball from Hamills. Pence has a .339 on base percentage, .804 OPS. Only Daniel Murphy of the Mets has more base hits in the National League than Hunter Pence. Pagan at first, Howard on the bag with him. And that is out of play down the right field line. But quickly, 2 strikes to Hunter Pence. Pence has 6 hits and 21 career at bats against Hamills, a .286 average, including a couple of doubles. He's never going deep against him. 0-2 the count. Struck him out. And Pence chased one up around his shoulders that time.
Well, we have seen him beat the high pitch on a number of occasions. You never like to see anybody swing a ball over his shoulders. But we've seen him knock it out of the ballpark. And I'm sure you'll see Cole Hamills try and go up there again tonight because he knows that Hunter Pence is aggressive up there. He will swing at it. But you got to be careful with it.
Buster Posey, who had a single and a triple Wednesday against the White Sox. That's a strike to the inside. .283 average for Buster with 13 home runs, .345 on base average. No score in the game, 1 out, runner at first. The curveball, strike 2 called.
He does not look enthusiastic about that last call. It looked like a pretty good curveball to me, though. But it just gives you an idea of the type of stuff that Hamills has. That's a big one.
There goes Pagan. Now he stops. Ruiz goes behind him to first, but Pagan is back in safely.
So Hamills opens up Posey with a fastball, follows it up with a curveball, then tries to backdoor him with a slider. So he's kind of dragging him through the garden. Remember, his changeup, I think, is his best specialty pitch.
Hamills checks Pagan at first. It's not hit that hard. They get one, and Rollins to first. Double play, and the inning is over. Ryan Howard, the big Phillies cleanup man, coming up.
Minute to congratulate Hunter Pence just moments before tonight's game. He was honored as the Giants 2014 Heart and Hustle Award winner. That award is chosen by the MLB Players Association, and it's given to a member on every Major League Baseball team that best displays the passion for baseball and embraces the spirit of the game. Manager Bruce Bochy said it was a no-brainer to pick Hunter Pence. That man never lets up. Quote by Bruce Bochy. John?
All right, Amy, and Hunter Pence, who certainly has been a leader with the Giants and leading by example. That one got a piece of Buster Posey, apparently. And he's hurting. They're going to give him a little time to try and shake that off if he can.
Watch maybe the wrist area of his glove hand. Just got him on a fingertip. No, wrist. That's like getting hit by a pitch. Catchers, 10 seconds, rub it off. Here we go.
Giants into the overshift on the infield for Ryan Howard. Blew that one right by him, up and in, 0-2. You see how they're playing it with the second baseman panic, maybe 18 to 20 feet out into the outfield. Pablo Sandoval, the third baseman, is now the shortstop. Struck him out. And he put Howard away in a hurry. That's 3 strikeouts within the first 4 hitters faced for Bumgarner.
Just elevate the fastball right at the belt with a little cut. He's got, when you watch his swing, his hands finish high, meaning they're above the shoulder. When you see a hitter with high finish, he's got loop in his swing. And there's the high finish with the hands. Here's the uppercut. And a high fastball is always going to be a tough pitch for him to hit. Beautifully executed by Bumgarner.
Now Marlon Byrd, who will turn 37 later this month. There's a called strike, knee high on the outside. You got Jimmy Rollins, who's 35. Chase Utley's 35. Ryan Howard, 34. And then Byrd, who is about to turn 37. A lot of veteran players in this club. And it's 0-2. Carlos Ruiz, the catcher, is 35. He's on deck. So the Phillies, an aging ball club. That's a foul tip held by Posey. Strike 3. 2 down.
Well, it's the Dog Days of Summer. Saturday, August 30th is the Dog Days at AT&T Park, presented by Zynga. Bring your dog to the game, participate in a pregame on-field parade, and a dog costume contest. Always hysterical. Limited number of Dog Days combo tickets are available. To get your tickets, call 415-972-2034.
And here is Ruiz, and it's ball 1, low and in. 4 strikeouts in these first 2 innings for Bumgarner. Ruiz hitting .266, 3 homers, 18 batted in, .359 on base average though. On the outside corner.
Nice changeup. I think it's always important that he establishes that pitch early in the game. Because a lot of times, I mean, he'll throw 110 pitches in a game, 3 of them will be changeups. But if he gets confidence in that pitch early, he'll throw more throughout the night. That last one was a good one.
2-1. Off the foot, foul ball. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ruiz with 2 down and nobody on in the Phillies' second inning. Day game here tomorrow and again on Sunday. The beer can regatta on this Friday night, as is usually the case on Fridays during the summer. Going on, the finish line is the entrance to McCovey Cove right out beyond right field. The screen, hanging tough, 2-2 the count.
Well, Ruiz is not a big guy in stature. He's small. Because of that, he's got a small strike zone. Very good hitter from the bell high to the letters, and he defends the strike zone quite well. You'll see a lot of balls go gap to gap up the middle. Really has been a good player for the Phillies. Big part of their championship team.
On the right field line, foul into the crowd.
Got a man making a play. Yeah, that'll put a smile on everybody.
Ruiz is giving Bumgarner a workout here. Bumgarner looks like he might have a chance for a quick inning, but Ruiz is making him work extra hard. They'll try it again. Oh, that's hit deep into left center field. Pagan seems to have it zoned, and that's the inning. They're not toward the big part of the yard. 6 in a row retired by Bumgarner. Pablo Sandoval coming up. game brought to you by the City of Livermore. Enjoy shopping, entertainment, dining, and wine tasting in the City of Livermore. There is so much to do. Check it out. From AT&T Park, we see some of that, you like to call it the marine layer, right?
The marine layer.
Fog. Coming in through the Golden Gate, heading over in this direction. And there, above the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. Looking over to Yerba Buena Island and Treasure Island. Pablo Sandoval comes up for the Giants against Hamills. Pablo batting right-handed. He's only hitting 189 as a right-handed hitter. Although he's done well, 324 against right-handers. But against the lefties, batting right-handed, he struggled. And that's a foul. Got a change-up. First pitch from Cole Hamills. 0-1 to Pablo. Pablo, who has the highest fielding percentage of any third baseman in the major leagues this year. One strike to count. Up the middle, base hit.
Time now for the Cavara Law Firm Injury Report. Injury report brought to you by 1-800-4INJURY. If you've been injured in an accident, call 1-800-4INJURY or go to 1-800-4injury.com. Current Giants on the DL. A-Ray Adrianza with a hamstring, Brandon Bell with a concussion, Matt Cain with an elbow, Hector Sanchez with a concussion, and Marco Scudero with a back. And that's your Cavara Law Firm Injury Report.
Matt Cain. I think they were kind of shocked. At least Bruce Bochy allowed us how he was shocked. There's a drive out into right center field deep. Bird giving chase, and he gets there. That one is long gone in Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia.
You know, and Michael Morris has been pretty good about not showing frustration all year long, and he's hit some bombs that have been caught. And this one right here, I think, got to him. I mean, he gets things just right. It's a perfect swing for him. He takes on the right center field gap, backspins it, and they had cheated Marlon Byrd over towards the gap, and watch Byrd go. He's got good range, and in the end, he makes it look easy. And Hamill's going, yeah, this place is bitching.
Well, did you see when he first hit the ball? It was Hamills who looked frustrated. Hamills dropped his head as soon as the ball was hit, as if to say, oh, for God's sake, what did I do?
Well, I mean, he's used to pitching in Philly. That's almost a second decker in Philly.
Adam Duvall takes a strike. Watch Hamills right after this ball is hit. Keep your eye on Hamills.
He's thinking 2-0. And there's the frustration we're talking about. And I don't blame him. You do everything right as a hitter, and you get nothing for it.
Hamills had not pitched here in 3 years. Maybe he had forgotten about this ballpark in that time. Hamills, there's been a lot of talk about whether the Phillies would trade Hamills or not, because they certainly could get a lot for him, you would think. He's got several years left in his current contract. Down the right field line and into the crowd. Another catch down there.
Kevin Mitchell style. Take a bow, my friend. You are the baddest dude on the mountain. All right, let's take a look. I got this one. Foam. Just a bear claw. One more look. Soft hands right there, folks. Nice.
Well, what's he had in his left hand? Sunflower seeds?
Yeah, he can't be breaking the seeds on the ground there. Got to keep that pack safe. You've been to the gun show today, too.
Duvall chases one up around his eyes, and Ryan Howard gets it. So 2 down.
Oh, that's one of the best plays I've seen all year by a fan. Easy on the high five. Don't be hurting the gamer babes now.
Well, what does she have there? Is that a panda paw? What is that? I haven't seen one of those.
I think it was. And specifically to give folks around your section the high five when they catch a foul ball single-handed with no glove. That's what I'm going with.
I hadn't even seen one before. Joe Paddock, ball one. 2 down. Sandoval, who led off the inning with a single, still at first. That frustration for Michael Morse. And you're right, because we haven't seen him really express that frustration in a public way. Jimmy Rollins hurries it to first, and the inning is over. Rollins still one of the best at shortstop. No scores. We head to the third. TNT Park. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow. Dwayne Kuiper will be along come the fourth inning from the radio side. And for the Phillies, here is Darren Ruff. He's had only 36 at bats in the minor leagues and also has been hurt this year. Ruff hit a lot of home runs in about half the season in the big leagues last year. Takes a called strike from Bumgarner. When the Giants played in Philadelphia last month, they had a seemingly never-ending game that went 5 hours and 46 minutes, 14 innings. Completely chewed up the Giants bullpen. Blew that one right by him, strike 2. That was the game where the Giants used all their able-bodied relievers, and Tim Lincecum actually came in and got the save in the bottom of the 14th. And the next day, they needed Bumgarner to kind of go deep into the game. He was the next day starter. But the bullpen was a little worked over. And Bumgarner went out the next day and pitched 8 shutout innings.
With an hour rain delay.
That's right. In the, what was it, the third inning of that
third
game?
Inning.
Yeah. And that is down and in.
I mean, that's a macho start when they absolutely needed Bumgarner to eat up some innings with a bullpen that had pitched 15 innings the previous 2 games. And he did. He dealt.
And it might have taken a toll on him because in his next start he wasn't nearly the same.
I think it took a toll on Tim Lincecum when he came in and relieved because he was not the same in his next start.
But it was just a fabulous performance by Bumgarner back on July the 23rd. That is pulled sharply foul down the left field line. And it was notable in any event, but especially since the Giants needed him to go deep in the game. It was a double blessing. And that was the game where he and A.J. Burnett did the same thing for the Phillies. And there were no runs scored in that game at all until the 9th inning. It was 0-0 until the 9th. The Giants eventually won it 3-1. That's a foul. The Giants got 3 runs against Jonathan Papelbon, and Casilla then took over for Bumgarner in the last of the 9th. He had it was actually the top of the 4th inning with the Giants batting that the rain delay occurred. And Bumgarner, for him, it was more than an hour's delay. Pablo was hugging the line. 1 away. But this was the night before the save of the game, brought to you by Foxit, providers of fast, affordable, and secure PDF solutions. And Tim Lincecum brought in to save it in the 14th inning. He became the 9th pitcher since 1969 to throw both a no-hitter and record a save in the same season. And there weren't many fans still in the ballpark by that time.
Hey, you know, for Lincecum, that was fun. He really enjoyed it.
It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Here are the other pitchers who've done that. Bob Moose of the Pirates in '69. Nolan Ryan with the Angels in '73. Jim Bibby. Phil Niekro, a Hall of Famer, along with Ryan. That curve in there for a strike. The Candyman, John Candelaria, Jerry Royce, Chris Bosio. And just 4 years ago, Matt Garza did it with the Tampa Bay Rays. And this year, Tim Lincecum. And that was the first time we'd seen him pitch relief, wasn't it? Since 2012 in the postseason.
Same ballpark.
2010 he pitched in relief in Philadelphia in that great league championship series. Giants fans remember it as being great. Phillies fans probably have a different memory of it.
That's right. 2012, he was the X factor, especially in that series against Cincinnati. I mean, he was fantastic.
He was something that nobody else had in their bullpen. 2-2. Struck him out. Cody Ashe. That's the 5th strikeout for Bumgarner.
Well, Candlestick Park is officially closed after the McCartney concert last night. And you can own a piece of Candlestick Park. The orange and red historic seats are on sale for $7.49 a pair. And for a limited time, you can get them autographed by Candlestick Park legends. Go to sfgiants.com/Candlestick Memories. You can have Mays, McCovey, Montana, Clark, and many more.
And Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow.
Well, we're throwing legends around pretty loosely for those two clowns.
20-game winner, Mike Krukow. Two and one. And so McCartney was there last night, eh?
It was hopping. Hard to get, hard to get out.
That's where I saw my first Major League Baseball game, 1962 in April. Hamills pops it up. Posey and Pablo, and it would be Buster. Bumgarner has pitched 3 perfect innings. Now to the last half of the 3rd, Brandon Crawford, then Bumgarner coming up. brought by McDonald's. Download the McD app on your smartphone for great deals on the food you love at participating McDonald's. Dusk in the city. The lights go down. That's the morning, though, right? When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay? Yeah. Not now.
Not now.
It's when we're not here. Here is Brandon Crawford. And the lights are on the Coliseum. Is there a football game over there tonight?
Yes, there is. Raiders are playing.
The Oakland Athletics. There it is. It's all lit up. But they have look like they still have the tarps on. Strike one to Brandon Crawford. Crawford, who has a batting average of only .228, but he has hit .300 against left-handed pitching. So he's in there tonight with Hamills on the mound. No score in the game. The Giants have 2 hits. There's a drag bunt attempt, but it came up, hit right in the chest, right in the sternum. Foul ball.
And he did have 1 foot at least in the batter's box. He's got both feet out of the batter's box. That ball hits him. He's out. Watch the foot and see. Yes, indeed, he's still in the box.
No score. Last of the third. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Crawford. Bumgarner on deck. We see some of the first finishers heading in toward McCovey Cove in the beer can regatta. Along the right field line, and Marlon Bird. 1 away. Fans, there's a new morning newscast in town. Telemundo 48 Primera Edición, the Bay Area's only Spanish language morning news with live news, weather, and traffic. So tell your friends and watch Telemundo 48 Primera Edición. Telemundo 48 Primera Edición. Weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. 5 a las 7.
Muy bueno, jefe.
Bumgarner, big curveball. It's 0-2.
Well, the league knows that Bumgarner can hit a fastball, and the 3 home runs and the 12 RBIs will tell you that. 2 grand slams this year. So they're just not going to give him a whole bunch of fastballs.
Base hit.
But if you're going to throw him an off-speed pitch, you better get it down. You want that ball on the ground. You can see it just lays up there right above the belt. And for Bumgarner, stays back, lets it get deep, and he becomes the 3rd guy that has gotten a base hit off of Cole Hamills. That ball should have been hit.
Pagan hit a single his first time.
Ever since he's come back, he's gotten a hit in every game. Think the Giants miss this guy? Wow. Great to have him back at the plate and in the outfield. He is 100% energy.
1 out, Bumgarner at first. And it's a 2-strike count now to Pagan. As well as Cole Hamills has pitched so far this year, it doesn't really get reflected in his 1-loss record. He's had 21 starts, and he's only won 6 of them to his own record, even though he has a 2.37 earned run average. Ryan Howard steps on first. They'll need a tag at second, and Bumgarner is safe. Howard needed a little bit more accuracy than that. I don't know how Jimmy Rollins caught that ball. He had to come so far off the bag.
That's why you got to stay with the play. If you're Bumgarner, we saw it earlier. And, as a base runner, I mean, you've got to respect the game. You got to go. Do not stop. Do not assume. Keep on going to the bag. You never know when you're going to get a wild throw.
My bad.
There he goes again. All the time in the world, too. Bumgarner was jogging to second.
Now, on a normal double play, if you get the first out, but not the second out, there's no error that's charged. What about that kind of a play? Because it becomes a tag play at second. Seemed like he would have been out by 10 feet or more.
At least.
With a good throw. Here's Hunter Pence.
And the old saying about you can't assume a double play really shouldn't apply to that particular play.
I think that could be an exception to that official note to official scorers. Base hit could mean a run. And back out of play. So 84 miles an hour the first pitch to Pence, and now 94 miles an hour for the foul. And it's 0-2. Pence struck out his first time. No score, third inning.
See, he sets the knuckle curveball in his hand with a pre-grip, and he does that so he doesn't tip his pitch if he wants to throw the knuckle curve in his glove by fixing it. Now, he can put that in his glove and he cannot throw the knuckle curve, but he'll set the grip in his hand as if he was going to every pitch. Just a way of not tipping your pitches. See that forefinger kind of cup up on the ball, and that's the knuckle curveball grip right there.
Two and two.
See a lot of guys do it with split finger fastballs, fork balls. Set the grip. It doesn't mean you're going to throw it, but if you decide to throw it, the grip's already set. You don't have to wiggle the glove or jam your hand in your glove, which would tip a pitch to a hitter.
Struck him out with a breaking ball. That's the inning. On to the fourth, top of the order coming up. Dwayne Kuiper moving over from the radio booth.
Entertainment operating system only from Xfinity, bringing TV and internet together like never before. Daniel Carbonell, the 23-year-old Cuban outfielder, signed with the Giants in June. 6'3", 196-pounder, 16 combined games with the Arizona Rookie League in San Jose. A-ball in the Cal League. He's hit .350 with a .409 on-base percentage. He hit a home run, triple, 3 doubles, and 6 stolen bases. And that is your Xfinity Future Focus. We're going to the top of the fourth inning, no score. And here to tell you all about it, Dwayne Kuiper. Welcome, partner.
I'd love to do that. So 9 up, 9 down for Madison Bumgarner. And that means it'll be Ben Revere to lead things off here in the 4th. And he's going to look at a strike. Well, over on the radio side, he was really good. Bumgarner.
Very good. He was as good over here. Inside corner. He did not miss by much, but it just gives you an idea of the lean that Revere had looking on that outside corner. He takes that pitch and falls across the plate. That tells the pitcher out there the guy's looking one side away.
And it's 1-2. Jimmy Rollins to follow. Hit on the ground. And now it's going to be a tougher play, and Bumgarner makes it. Wow. Once Duvall gave up his spot, it was going to be a tough play.
Well, it got to be a foot race between Bumgarner and Revere, and for the most part, Bumgarner's not going to win those races. But hey, 10 up, 10 down. We like it.
You look pretty good. I like that jacket.
Well, so far it's got 5 strikeouts in it.
And then no runs.
Don't worry, I'll take it off to get the runs.
I think this jacket's in charge of runs, and it's not doing very good. We got more jackets in there.
We may have to change in the 5th inning.
Here's Rollins. Rollins struck out in the 1st.
Yep, wear your tie.
Maybe that jacket is in charge of some runs. In the dirt, it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
I'm just glad that we're not the only guys in this ballpark wearing ties. Kind of makes me feel better. You know what I'm saying?
I'm wondering what's going on with that guy. Maybe coming back from a big meeting.
Looks important.
1-2. Either that or this is I'm going to impress this young lady on the first date.
Either that or he works in the Giants front office.
Either that or that tag around his means that he and the guy behind him does.
It's one of the perks about working in the Giants front office. You get to kind of just go down the hallway, turn left, and go to a ball game.
That ball skipped in a number of different places in the seats, which only means that more people had an opportunity. The 1-2. Bounce foul.
See a lot of those breaking balls going right to the feet of the right-handed hitters, and because of that, when they make contact, they get a lot of balls peppered to the left side of the infield. Brandon Crawford, Pablo Sandoval, when Madison Bumgarner pitches, that's a lot of fun. You're going to see some action.
Well, you better be heads up in that dugout, or if you're running the camera, or if you're in that first or second row where the Giants investors sit.
You used to like that when you know you're going to play behind a sinker baller like Dennis Eckersley. You're going to get a lot of ground balls.
Absolutely. The 1-2 pitch. Now you go into Minnesota where the infield was horrible, then no.
Is that the worst ever?
It's kind of like elevate a little bit.
See, in the National League, it was always Atlanta because they had crushed brick and it would get dry and it would be big chunks of, well, brick out there. Not a good infield.
Yep, I agree.
It's pretty, though.
Foul back, stays at 2-2. Yeah, well, look, they had the superstation. So it's much more important that it look good as opposed to play well.
But all these new composites now, they kind of get a brick-like finish in the color. Not quite as red, but still beautiful.
And Rollins had a good rip. The more pitches he sees, the better odds are for him that he's going to get something to hit. And he's seen a lot of pitches in this at bat. You also saw his shoes. We're talking about spikes where you don't have to tie them. You just slip them on and zip them up.
Yeah, how cool is that? It's like wearing slippers to take your at-bats. See, I'd wear those around town.
And maybe an upgrade.
Maybe.
Off the end of the bat, and Panic cannot hang on. And Rollins is aboard with one out, and it'll be a base hit. So the long at bat goes Rollins' way.
Well, frustrating for Joe Panic, I'm sure, to get this much glove on a little pop-up, but it would have been a spectacular play. But first hit of the game, he's going to think about that for a while.
So here's Utley. Now the Giants, their defense now gets a little weird with Utley at the plate. Rollins started to go but put on the brakes. It's outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Panic really playing Utley to pull. Rollins has got 24 steals, so it is likely that he's going to go, although Utley may very well like to have that hole.
Well, it used to be Madison Bumgarner was one of the easiest guys to steal on, and that has since changed. He really tightened up his game and has become one of the toughest left-handers to steal off of. A lot going on here for Bumgarner. The Phillies put a lot of pressure at the top of the lineup with Ben Rivera, who's got 33 stolen bases, and Rollins, who's got 24. And you know Rollins, coming back to the Bay Area where he's from, wants to put on a show. And stealing bags is a big part of his deal.
Utley fouls it back. He got a fastball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
A fastball up too.
Howard on deck. We're in the 4th. Rollins does not go, and this is flared to left. Morris is coming in. He's not going to get it. So a flare to right, a flare to left, and here's Howard. Morris is not playing shallow, so that is not one where you're going to be able to get to if you don't have a lot of speed.
And he doesn't have great range. I mean, you know that, but he's not there for his defense, really. He's there to bang and hit balls out of the ballpark.
So here's Howard. Howard struck out in the 2nd. And a strike, and Rollins is thinking about it.
And the way they have Pablo Sandoval played out the bag at third, I mean, it really is a lot of pressure on your third baseman. I mean, he's way off the bag. And you get too far away, a base stealer will take full advantage of it.
Swinging a foul that got Buster Posey maybe on his shoulder, and it's 0-2.
Well, he already got hit on the wrist earlier in the game. It'll definitely make you shake your head. And oh, by the way, he will lead things off for the Giants in the fourth. Or this would get him.
Same spot.
They may have got him on the fingertip.
Yeah. Singer. So Crawford having a word with Bumgarner.
It's not so much that he swung or not. How about the location of the pitch? Now look at the location of the pitch. They sent the target away. Now this is a matter of whether he swung or not. He's out twice.
And now they're going to go. Bumgarner throws, and they got him. I don't know about that one. I'm sure that they'll take a look at this one, or at least certainly in the Phillies clubhouse. But Rollins thought he would try to get Bumgarner sleeping.
And both Sandberg going to come out. Pete McCannon, the third base coach, went crazy. Let's take a look if they got him. High throw. Hits his foot, kind of blocks him off. I think they got him.
I do too.
Another look here. He hits the foot of Sandoval, who really blocks his path to the bag.
And Sandberg's going to walk away. No, they're going to look at it.
Gabe Morales, the third base umpire, making the call. Joe West, the crew chief, going to come back, get on the phone to New York.
No, you're right. The call was made by Morales. It's amazing how look, we haven't played in a long time, right?
Long time.
And your instincts are to start yelling at Bumgarner that Rollins is going.
I know. We both almost did.
And it's just kind of how we were taught. And it took a little while, but somebody got Bumgarner's attention, and the only way you get it is by yelling. There's nothing else you can do. You got to yell.
You do hurry a throw because you see the play right there, and you know what you have to beat. Now watch Buster Posey point. There he goes.
Yep, there you go. And that really did save the day. And he's out.
So Jimmy Rollins, as he went by Bumgarner on the mound with kind of a sly grin, said, "You got me."
That's a big play.
It really is. I mean, if he's safe, it's a first and third with one out.
And it's 1-2 to Howard. Now the defense can play the way they want against Howard with panic in shallow right field, and the fastball is high, 2-2.
Got underneath that one. You still have to check Chase Utley. He's a smart base runner. He's got 5 steals on the year. He's only been thrown out 1 time. But if you ignore him, if you forget about him, even with Howard up there, he'll take it. So you just have to make him stop before you commit to home.
Got him. Strikeout number 6. 2 hits in the inning, 1 left. Posey, Sandoval, Morris coming up.
couple of rookies in tonight's lineup and a whole handful of rookies on the 25-man roster right now for the Giants. And their manager, Bruce Bochy, said he is very impressed with this young group. Dwayne and Mike, he said that these young guys have grinded out some great ABs against very tough pitching that they've faced as of late. He also said this group of kids is very tough, and he's really appreciated how they've handled themselves. Guys?
Well, I think in a lot of ways, Amy, what Bruce Bochy's saying is that he needs them, and he's very impressed at how this young group has accepted the fact that the manager needs him, and he needs him right now. So here's Buster Posey to lead things off. And Buster, a line drive base hit into right field. And the Giants, the third time now in 4 innings, they've had the leadoff hitter on.
That's pretty remarkable. I once asked Bob Brenly, who was our catcher in the 80s and really a great catcher, how many at-bats during the course of a year, if you took 500, would be affected because of foul balls and balls in the dirt that hit your hands. And how many of those would affect, how many at-bats would be affected? He looked at me and go, I can tell you exactly the number. I said, how many? He goes, a lot. And Posey, who's been hit twice on the hands, comes up and throws a base hit to right field. That's impressive.
Here's Sandoval, who's single in the second, and he takes wide. Now Hamills has been in the stretch a lot in this game. Morris on deck. We are in the 4th. And Sandoval drives it into left center field, hit well. Remember, Rivera's got great speed, and he can't get it. And it bounces up and over for a double. Well, it did cost the Giants a run.
Fastball out over the belt. Waits well, and he thinks he's got it as he leaves the box. He's thinking, I got a round tripper. You're not getting a whole lot of help tonight. The normal wind would give you a little drift out towards center. And here's where it costs him a run. Ball hits the warning track, bounces into the stands, and that means Posey has to stay at third.
So here's Morris. Morris, prior to that ball right there that Sandoval hit, has hit the hardest ball, and that was a drive in the triples alley that I didn't think Bird was going to run down, but he did in the second inning. And he comes back in, and it's 0-1.
Now here's the one you're talking about where Michael Morris really gets this with backspin, and it's going right out towards the 421 sign. In the end, it puts a smile on Cole Hamill's face. He knows any other ballpark, that's gone.
His reaction when contact was made was not very good. In the dirt. Posey at third. Sandoval at second. Nope. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joe West all over it.
Joe West, he doesn't have the flamboyant save sign. Been around a long time. First came to the big leagues in 1977. That's a long time.
That's a long time. 2 balls and a strike. Hit into left center field. Hit very well. It is out of here. This time he knocks it out of the park, and it's 3-0 Giants. That was a line drive, and it got out in a big hurry.
He got a good pitch to hit. And remember, he's not out there for his defense. He's out there to bang. And this is exactly what the Giants need. Let's watch number 16 on the year go out and look at the location right over the plate at the belt. And Cole Hamills Knew exactly when that ball left the bat that it was gone.
So here's Duvall. He needed that.
Yeah, he did.
And he needed it in this park because this is hit high out to Bird and right. And that'll be out number 1.
Yep. Smoothie, you put that coat on and look what happens.
Yeah, well, I must say it's probably not the first time I've worn this coat this year.
Well, it won't be the last after this swing of the bat. Well, nice top hand action as he threw that bat head right through the ball. Exploded off his bat.
Here's Panic. Panic takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. If you're thinking about Cole Hamills and what he's done his last 5 starts, he has not allowed more than 1 earned run, and in 2 of those starts he hasn't allowed any runs. So here he's given up 3 in 1 inning, and that's the 9th home run that he's given up, which isn't a lot. Panic takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's made some mistakes up tonight, and to the Giants' credit, they haven't missed him. See what he's done the last 5 starts. 0.73 ERA. He has been locked in. I mean, he's got 4 good pitches that he can get you to swing and miss with. But tonight, his location has been a bit up.
And the 2-2 pitch is a bouncy ball. Hamills will knock it down, recover, and throw to first. And that'll bring up Brandon Crawford. Crawford hit a fly ball to right field that it looked like it was going to drop, but Bird ran it down. Bird's been running all over the place in right field. And the pitch to Crawford is just outside, 1-0.
Yeah, Bird right field has had the range of a center fielder.
Really, he has. Hmm. 2-0.
Cole Hamills followed that one up. Thought he had a strike. You know, normally here's where you could just kind of jump on a pitch, but you can't do it with Hamills. He'll throw anything at you 2-0.
So it's 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk, meaning Bumgarner will hit.
Well, that's significant. The fact that Cole Hamills cannot start off the inning, next inning, facing the pitcher. Of course, Crawford gets picked off, but it's nice to get the pitcher out of the way. Either one that can hit like Bumgarner.
It was a classic case of, I don't care what league you're in, I don't care who you are, if you get a hanging curveball, somebody's going to hit it hard. And Bumgarner did in the 3rd inning to pick up his 14th hit of the season. 0-2.
That was his pitch.
Emergency swing, foul. Home run number 16 for Michael Morse. The 3 RBIs give him 55 on the season. Bumgarner takes strike 3 call, and that'll end the inning. 3 runs on 3 hits. And there's Morris's home run, and we will head to the fifth. Murphy's new fresh pan pizza love at 425 degrees. Well, we're going to take a look at who's hot, and who do you think it is? Well, it's Pablo Sandoval, a .980 fielding percentage, best among Major League third basemen, zero errors in the last 66 games, and 187 total chances.
Well, he's really opened up the eyes of the baseball world, and I mean, he's worked hard. I mean, this is what Bruce Bochy had always told him. You know, you get your weight down, you get in shape, you have the ability to win a Gold Glove, and he's proven his skipper right tonight, and he is certainly worthy of consideration for that prestigious award.
Here's Bird. Bird takes in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Bird struck out in the second inning. Bumgarner now with a 3-run lead. And this is driven to left. Back is Morris. He's at the wall, and he runs very hard into the wall, and it's gone.
I'll tell you what, I haven't seen anybody running the wall that hard in a while. It didn't look like it hurt him any, but it at least had to knock a little wind out of him.
So that's home run number 23 for Bird.
Fastball on the knees outside, and he just leans over and hooks it. Got good power, but watch Morris as he hits the wall. Wow.
Wake me up in the morning.
He's going to feel that one.
Swing and a miss by Ruiz. Need a fly ball to deep center field that Pagan ran down. So the Phillies are on the board. It's 3-1.
I mean, he's built like that wall out there, but still, I had to get his attention. You got to be thankful that they got that wall padded. That's Wrigley Field. You're in trouble.
Out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he left his mark. Giants will be in Wrigley Field next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. First of a 2-city road trip, then it's on to Washington.
I thought they played day games there.
3 night games in Wrigley Field.
On the ground sharply to Crawford, who's got it on the back end.
Well, Giants baseball is brought to you in part by the Dodge Challenger. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. It's a good looking ride.
Here's Darren Ruff. What's going on here? Oh, that's outside the ballpark in the Cove.
Well, a little celebration going on over there. Sharing a bottle.
Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Well, they got it going out there.
Well, for once I was speechless. 1 ball and 1 strike. I just didn't know what to say. I thought, well,
you got a
things that come to mind sometimes you just shouldn't say. Just let it go.
I think you opted wisely.
And the 1-1 is a breaking ball wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cody Ashley's on deck. I think that home run kicked Bumgarner off. It's 2-2.
Well, it does get your attention, especially when you're going out there trying to put up a shutdown inning after your team just gave you 3 runs. And the first guy up comes up and knocks it out of the ballpark. And that really wasn't a hanger either. It was a pretty good location pitch.
Hit out to right. Hunter Pence is on the move. He's not going to get it. Ruff is going to head to third, and no, he puts on the brakes. And that is a break. I don't know if Pete McCannon held him up. I can't imagine he did, but that's a triple.
Ball on the outside part of the plate. He goes the opposite way with it. The Giants had Hunter Pence pulled over too, and nothing he could do about that. But the fact that they moved him over probably saved 90 feet because Ruff had to pull up at second. Well, I thought it was a giveaway triple, and all of a sudden, boom, he stops 2 runs down. But that is a break.
So here's Cody Ashley. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Ashley struck out in the 3rd. And it's now 0-2.
Fastball's upstairs on him. Guy keep swinging at the high pitch. Keep throwing him.
Bumgarner nearly caught Ruff a little too far off the bag at second. 0-2. And a high fastball, 1-2. Dodgers still leading Milwaukee 1-0. That game in the 4th inning.
Yeah, the Chardonnay Commodores got it going tonight. Although the ratio is like 6-1.
Foul back.
Take a look at the double off the bat of Ruff. I mean, he wasn't loafing it either. I mean, he knew that it wasn't going to be out, so he's thinking 3 bags. But just the pre-pitch positioning and the way they set the defense, that really is what saved the triple.
2-2 to Cody Ashley.
He's got his party hat on.
So you're thinking the ratio is not very good?
No. Well, unless you're one of the gals out there, you got to be pretty psyched.
It is amazing how much fun you can have with chocolate milk. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's true.
And now it's 3-2.
Well, 2 times they've gone down below the knees on the 1-2 pitch and the 2-2 pitch. And if he wants to go back upstairs with a fastball, I think actually he'll swing.
Three and 2. Playable. Sandoval coming in. Sandoval makes the catch. Kind of in that area where sometimes you just soon have the pitcher take it. What happened? Oh, is this the 2-man dance?
Yeah, it's a 2-man celebration. The Montefusco Gary Alexander dance.
You know what they're doing? They're just practicing for when everybody else shows up.
They realize the odds are not in their favor tonight.
Oh, Mom and Dad are watching. Hey, Jeff, fun last night? Oh, yeah, we danced all night. Really? Swing and a miss by Hamills.
Hey, if the music's good, you got to go with it.
Now we're going. All right, see, just widen up that screen a little bit. There's a lot going on. Okay, yeah. How about this one? You like this one? Yeah, I do. The 0-1 to Hamills is a strike. It's 0-2. I want to say that those were the days, and then I remember that was me dancing right there.
Yeah.
Because I did not have the nerve to ask anybody else to dance with me, so I'll practice. Strike 3 call, and that'll end the inning. Oh, am I glad those days are over. Here's the home run by Bird. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 3-1 Giants. Don't miss the final deals of the summer, like 0% APR for 60 months on any Toyota passenger car. See your Toyota dealer today. Most runs in the National League. Anthony Rendon of the Nationals, he's on top, followed by Pence, Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, and then Matt Carpenter. So Hunter Pence second. The last Giants player, by the way, to lead the National League in runs was in 1989. It was Sir William Clark. And he led the league with 104 runs. So here in the 5th, it'll be Pagan, Pence, and Posey. Pagan singled in the 1st, bounced out to 1st in the 3rd. And he pops this one playable for Howard, and Howard drops it.
And I don't think you should get an error on this one. That would have been a pretty good play. You have to remember he's on the road, and this is not a familiar ballpark for him. But they could definitely give him an error on it. But I don't think it's deserving. Measure twice, and then the ball starts to drift. You know, I think when you get those short pop-ups and they're not real high, they're tougher at times, especially when you don't know the arena. And so far, they have not given him an error, and I hope it stays that way.
Here's the 0-1 to Pagan, and he hits it sharply on the ground to Rollins. And Rollins will make the play.
All right, time now for our BMW Drive, the ultimate driving machine at Bay Area BMW.com. And we go back to July 23rd. Hunter Pence 3-run double in the 9th inning off Papelbon. A very close pitch on a 2-strike. And the next pitch, he hits a double. It clears the bags. It broke a scoreless tie. The Giants would go on to win. And that's our BMW Drive.
Pence has struck out twice, facing his old teammate. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Oh, yeah. Flyers, baby.
A changeup, he's just not seeing it.
Buster Posey to follow. And he taps this one. Ruiz is going to spin and throw. And he throws it down the right field line. And Pence is going to stay at first. And it'll be a base hit for Hunter Pence as he goes for the ground attack.
Well, one of the best catchers in the game at coming out from behind home plate and fielding a ball in front is Carlos Ruiz. I mean, he really has great range, and you don't often refer to a catcher in that regard. But here, an inaccurate throw, and the Giants probably could have had another 90 feet, but from Hunter Pence, who saw where Chase Utley was backing up the play, he decided it wasn't worth it. So base hit all the way.
And here's Buster Posey. Buster tonight is hit into a double play, and then he singled to open up the 4th. Pence with 10 steals. Pablo Sandoval on deck. High. 1 ball and no strikes. Hamills with 63 pitches here in the 5th inning. A Friday night sellout crowd.
He's trying to add on to that 2-run lead here.
There's a strike to even the count.
I mean, he just never really let you sit on a fastball and a fastball count, especially if you're in the heart of the lineup. Slider, curveball, 2 types of fastball movement, changeup.
Posey skies this one to right. Bird, who was not playing towards Triple's alley, now will backpedal and put it away.
He almost overran that ball.
And that'll bring up Pablo Sandoval. I think Buster felt like he had a pretty good pitch to hit.
You don't see a lot of emotion. Pretty steady. I guess one of the strongest attributes.
So Pence at first. And Sandoval, a soft line drive to Utley, and that'll end the inning. 6th inning coming up, 3-1 Giants. Toyota. Right now, during Toyota's annual clearance event, get 0% APR for 60 months on Toyota's most popular cars like Camry, Prius, and for the first time ever, Corolla. Toyota, let's go places.
Three-one Giants. We're at the top of the sixth inning. The 3 runs off the swing of the bat by Michael Morse, his 16th home run of the year, a 3-run shot. Giants just have not hit a whole lot of home runs lately, so kind of caught everybody by surprise.
So here's Ben Revere to lead things off. Lots of speed. And he rolls it foul. Struck out in the first, rolled out to Panic in the fourth.
Giants have hit just 2 home runs in their last 9 games and 8 homers in their last 20. And this year, when they've hit a home run in a ball game, they're 43 and 18. So welcome back, home run.
Crawford knows he's got to hurry. 1 out.
Well, Monday, August 25th is Mystery Bobblehead Prize Pack Special Event. Your special event package will include a mystery bag including 1 Giants 2014 bobblehead and an additional Giants item, 2 prizes, as well as a game ticket to see the Giants take on the Colorado Rockies. Reminder, to receive the Mystery Bobblehead Prize Pack, you need to purchase the special event ticket. Call 415-972-2298 or go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Here's Rollins. Rollins had a good at bat in the 4th inning. Actually picked up the first hit off of Bumgarner. Hit a ball that went in and out of the glove of Joe Panic. And stopped the show there for a second. Pitchers now. Very important. Foul back, 0-2.
Update on Brandon Belt. He's going to go see a specialist in Pittsburgh because of the concussion. The effects of the concussion have lingered. Giants are not messing around. They're going to see a specialist in Pittsburgh. They'll probably rejoin the team when they're in Washington.
Got him.
Right above the hands. Perfect fastball. That was a great movie, Back to the Future.
I mean, all 7 of them, or just the first one?
Well, the first one was the best one. It always is.
Here's Utley. We're starting to see some bullpen action. How about that?
Well, the next pitch for Bumgarner is going to be number 100, so he's had to throw a lot of pitches.
Hit into center field. Pagan got a good jump, and he's going to make a sliding catch. And that'll end the inning. Nice play. It'll be Morris, Duvall, and Panic. 3-1 Giants. Brought to you in part by Barracuda Networks, cloud-connected security and storage solutions designed to simplify IT. Reclaim your network with Barracuda. Here it's a 3-1 lead. It'll be Morris. That's a great shot. I love that shot.
Yeah, that's a good one. Beautiful. Golden Gate Bridge.
Here's a spot. Here's the pitch to Morris, and it's out of play. There's a spot on the Bay Bridge where you can see all 4 bridges. Giants were stuck on 99 home runs for quite a while. This home run was number 100. Fouled off his foot. It's 0-2.
Well, you got to show me that spot on the bridge.
Well, I know you're supposed to keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
And but if there's nobody around, you take a peek. If you're coming this way into the city, take a left. You can see the San Mateo Bridge. You go to the right. It's perfect.
Richmond
and the Golden Gate. And look, you don't stare. You just take a peek. Right?
Yeah, just a peek.
Oh, 2. And the old bridge.
Coming down.
They're missing some pieces. 1-2 pitch is in tight, 2-2. A long road trip that we just came back from, and driving into the city on Tuesday, we could see they'd taken a lot more down while we were gone. And that's foul past Roberto Kelly.
Oh, ball dude. It's Bert Strain, our ball dude at first base line tonight. And that's Doug Kirk. Got to support your fellow ball dudes.
And Morris with a big rip and a foul. It stays at 2-2.
He's had pretty good balance in his at-bats tonight. I mean, he had an extra base hit taken away to right center in his first at-bat. Then he hit the 3-run homer in his second at-bat. And here, I mean, he's not getting cheated, even with 2 strikes.
Outside, 3-2.
Ochi, Wotus, Mullins.
And he stays alive. Spoils a pitch by Hamills.
3-2 changeup. We talked about the 5 different types of movement that Hamills will give you, and he'll throw all of them. 3-2. Not a problem. Bases loaded, tie scored. Fearless.
And another foul ball out of play.
And this is a personal at bat. And this is a good little battle.
So you think it's got to that level now? Huh?
Oh yeah. Once a guy takes you deep, you want to strike him out. You just do.
And the 1.
Well, the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit, led by Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski, they're an award-winning team of 15 journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. The investigative unit on NBC Bay Area, we investigate.
So Blanco's going to run for Morris.
That was a nice at bat. 3 good ones tonight for Michael Morse.
So here's Duvall. That's the second walk for Hamills. He walked Crawford in the fourth. And this is tap foul.
Adam Duvall before the game watching a lot of film at Cole Hamills, and if you're a young hitter and you're watching a pitcher that's got command of 5 good pitches, you walk out of that tape room and you're thinking,
I wouldn't watch it.
I need to get on this guy early.
I wouldn't watch it.
Well, he swung at every first pitch he's seen against Hamills tonight. You'd watch it.
Panic is on deck. Driven to right, and Bird is there, and he'll make the catch.
It's one thing about the player today. I mean, they have access to so much data.
Yeah, they were drawing pictures when we were playing.
Literally.
I remember the first time I ever saw a manager have the data on what one of his guys did against a particular pitcher was Frank Robinson, and he had your basic 3x5 cards in his back pocket. And a guy would come up against whoever, say it was Nolan Ryan, he'd pull those out of his back pocket, or if he was going to use a pinch hitter, and that was the first time. Now they're hand delivered to us before every game.
Oh, and the data the hitters and pitchers are given, it is so extensive. I mean, you're talking about what a pitcher's first pitch predictability ratio is.
At night.
What he throws with behind the count 1-0, what he throws 0-1 with men on base. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and there is a fear that you get too much of it.
Paralysis by analysis, no doubt. There's the book on the Giants right there, and that's about a phone book of information. It's Larry Boa's binder. Information about what pitches runners like to steal on, what pitchers like to throw out of the stretch position, behind the count, ahead of the count, counts even. And then you go into the tape room and you'll watch what the pitch looks like from the center field camera, from the behind home plate.
Blanco goes. Ruiz gets rid of it, and they did not get him.
Ruiz does not have a great arm. He's got a very quick release, and that's what he relies on. Quick exchange. This one right here is a little sinker, and as Jimmy Rollins had to come up for the one hop, watch his glove come up and the little window of opportunity. He never really get a grasp on the ball, but runners get a score. Giants get a scoring runner in scoring position.
So that's the 13th stolen base for Blanco. And now it's 1-2 to Panic with Crawford on deck.
Best arm in the Phillies outfield's in right field with Bird, and it's average at best. Not a very good arm at center, not a very good arm at left.
Look out. Two and two.
Fastball trying to go above his hands, and he just doesn't finish it. Tried to throw it too hard. Flew that front shoulder, dragged the arm, and there's the result. Now Machi's down the bullpen. He may be a deke.
Well, we went down early. And this is into left field, a base hit. So how about Panic coming back after one up and in with a base hit?
Well, if you can't do that, don't even think about being a big leaguer, because you're going to get tested, especially a young player. Now, I don't think there was intent behind it, but it wound up being a pitch at his head.
Well, the other thing, too, Mike, is whether there's intent or not, and I agree with you. It does set up the next pitch.
It absolutely does. Now, that's the one up around his dome. Gets back in the next pitch. Little off-speed pitch. He leaves it middle in. And a nice job of throwing it to the side into left field. And he was solid. He set up well.
Absolutely.
Bob McClure, the pitching coach, coming out now to talk things over with Hamills. Pitch count really not an issue with Hamills. But I think what McClure is most interested in is why Hamills is missing upstairs. 21 pitches in the fourth, and now this inning's set up to go big in the pitch count as well. And still nobody down the Philly bullpen.
So here's Crawford. Crawford is flied out and he's walked. Rolls this one foul. It broke his bat.
Reload.
Madison Bumgarner watching from the on deck circle. Pagan on the top step. Giants are trying to add on. It's 3-1 here in the sixth. And a bunt. And Blanco got caught. And they're going to tag him out. So that totally backfired. And Blanco was trying to get off a good lead, maybe to distract Hamill and make him think about going someplace else, but he got caught too far down the line.
Well, the problem with the bunt is it just came back to Hamills. If it gets by Hamills, it's a run scored. It's a safety squeeze. If you get to a shortstop or to a second baseman here, I mean, it's a run. Well, once Hamills got the ball, Blanco knew he was meat.
So here's Bumgarner. He's 1 for 2. And he takes a fastball high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Interesting. I do believe the way Machi's warming up, he's going to be in this game.
Outside corner strike to even the count.
For Bruce Bochy still allowing Bumgarner to swing the bat.
Popped it up. Who's it going to be? And Ashley at the last second puts it away. John Miller will be back. He'll take you the rest of the way. Here it's 3-1 Giants.
at-bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, score, stats, audio-free MLB TV, game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit sfgiants.com. We are heading into the 7th inning here at AT&T. Giants on top of the Phillies 3-1. And once again, here's John Miller.
And the Phillies have their big cleanup hitter, Ryan Howard, a left-handed hitter, and then 3 right-handed hitters right after him. And Machi, the right-hander, has been staying warm in the Giants bullpen all the while. So perhaps Bumgarner just in for the one hitter. We'll see.
I think that's what he's going to do. He's right at 100 with the pitch count. Coach is going to let him face the left-handed Howard, then you bring in the right-handers.
Howard is 0 for 2. Left field, and that one right to Blanco, who stays into play left, and right away he gets a chance. Well, now he's at 101 pitches. He had the 7-pitch 6th inning, and he's gotten the first batter on 1 pitch here in the 7th.
Remember, it was Bird that hit the home run on a pretty good pitch his last at bat. But, I mean, Bochy's thinking, I don't want him to go too deep in the pitch count. You get a 1 pitch out, changes everything.
So Marlon Bird, who is the Phillies home run leader, that was his 23rd home run of the year back in the 5th inning. And Bumgarner will get another shot with Marlon Bird. When Bird hit that home run, he'd only had 3 hits in 16 lifetime at bats against Bumgarner. There is ball 1 inside. Giants got all 3 of their runs on one swing of Michael Morse's bat in the 4th inning, and then the Phillies got their run when Bird homered to straightaway left. Fastball in there for a strike. I think there are a lot of people still surprised to still see Marlon Bird with the Phillies. A lot of talk about Bird being traded to any number of teams looking for a bat. That's off the inside. 2-1.
Well, it can still happen, and I'm sure if there's a trade now, the teams are going to be motivated to do it before September 1st, because after September 1st, they can't be added to a playoff roster. So, and I think the Phillies really, everybody thought they were going to unload a bunch of salary, a bunch of players. It never happened. They didn't get rid of anybody.
High in the air, foul, and out of play off the first base side.
Talk about the home run earlier in the 5th inning off the bat of Bird. Look at the location. It's down on the outside corner about knee high. He just hooks it. You talk about a strong set of hands. Yep, that impressed Bumgarner.
Two and 2 to Bird, 2 innings later. Struck him out. And Bumgarner has 9 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings.
And like I say, if a guy takes you deep, you know, it becomes a macho thing. You want to strike him out his next at bat, and Bumgarner sends him packing. 8 of the strikeouts swing and miss. 1 called strike 3.
Two down, nobody on. And the man in Philly they call Chooch. Carlos Ruiz takes a fastball for a strike. And there's talk that the teams looking for a catcher would be going after Ruiz. That hasn't happened either. The Cubs apparently claimed Cole Hamills on waivers this month, but no trade was consummated. Called a strike on the outside of Beauty, 0-2.
But it's good, though. The Cubs kind of blocked it for everybody.
Now, you usually don't expect a team down in the standings because the Cubs had one of the first chances to claim him. There's a ball missing, 1 ball, 2 strikes. But I think it was almost as if the Cubs wanted to send a sort of notice to everybody, and maybe especially their own fans. Hey, we're going after guys like this. Pablo from deep at third, the long throw, and that's another quick inning for Madison Bumgarner. 10 pitches and out. 7 strong in the books for Bumgarner. Pagan, Pence, Posey, top of the order coming up.
excuse to brag about one of my fellow broadcasters. And Mike Krukow, tonight it's your turn. This is your life as a Philadelphia Philly. It was just one season, 1982, but what a season it was. He went 13-11 on the season. He had an excellent ERA, 3.127 complete games, 2 shutouts, and he recorded more than 200 innings. Check him out. And you gotta watch the walk, the swagger. Mike, we could bottle that up and sell it. I mean, confidence, it's a big thing here at this level.
Amy G.
Mike Krukow, a fighting Phil.
It was fun playing over there. That's a good town to play in.
Cole Hamills, a current Phil, throws a strike to Pagan as Bumgarner watches. Bumgarner 7 innings, 110 pitches thrown. The Giants bullpen is busy again. What do you think? I think probably he's finished for the night.
Yeah, I wrote his numbers and I got him as being done.
Pagan has singled, grounded out twice, 1 for 3. 1 run, 4 hits in 7 innings here at home.
Well, a quality start here at AT&T, the first one he's had in a couple of months. So Giants really needed to get it out of him too tonight.
A high quality start. That's down the left field line, extra bases. Ralph into the corner. Pagan to second. He's going to, no, he came speeding around second, and then as he saw Ruff's throw come in to Rollins, he held on. A double for Pagan.
Oh, stay hot, Angel Pagan. With these Phillies outfielders now, especially Ruff and Revere, the left fielder and center fielder, they do not have strong arms. So the Giants are going to anticipate the lead bag. And you saw the big aggressive turnaround second base from Pagan. He was thinking there may be an opportunity for 3. Here, he's putting it on, and all of a sudden, boom, he drops anchor. But boy, is he a shot in the arm.
So now Hunter Pence, who has struck out twice, and then he had a single, an infield single, in the 5th inning. 1-1. And Hamills has had him swinging and missing at pitches up there 2-3 times tonight. Swinging and missing, or sometimes fouling away. Phillies bullpen gets busy. Ken Giles, a right-hander, starts to throw on the right field line. Giants have action in their bullpen as well. Lefty is up. As Hamills looks Pagan back to second.
Now this is a 100% strikeout situation for Cole Hamills. He's already struck out Pence a couple times, so he knows he can get him upstairs to chase that fastball.
0-2.
And he also knows that he does not pick up his changeup well.
Giants have 9 hits against Hamills in this game. Hamills had only allowed 3 earned runs in his last 5 starts combined. He's been on an amazing roll here lately. .73 earned run average in those 5 starts. The Giants got 3 runs in just the 4th inning, all on Michael Moore's home run to left center. He struck it out. Pence breaks to first, and Ruiz throws him out.
So he goes down in the dirt with a curveball, and he really kind of saved that for a 2-strike surprise. We haven't seen him throw that pitch to him all night, but that's what Hamills can do to you. Strikeout situation, try and bounce it between the catcher and home, and he gets pinched to fish.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because it looked to me in that video that Amy G showed with you and remember the Fighting Phils, it looked to me like you struck out the future Hall of Famer Andre Dawson with a breaking ball.
It didn't happen very often with Andre Dawson. In fact, I should ask for that clip right there, because Andre Dawson was hard on me.
Is that Dawson? I mean, built a lot like Dawson anyway.
I couldn't hold him to a single. I just throw it back up third.
You think it's not Dawson just because he struck out?
Yeah, I can't be Dawson.
Now, if he struck out, it wasn't him.
He hit a bullet to somebody that got caught. Yeah, that's him.
And now they've got Pagan hung up between bases. And Rollins tags him out. Well, that's the second time that a runner has taken off from second base while the pitcher was still holding the ball. Rollins himself tried it back in the 4th inning.
And I think this is one move that is going to get reviewed and studied this offseason, because you're not supposed to deceive the runner, and this is exactly what this is. But he executes it perfectly. It's well within the rules, and you get an aggressive runner like Pagan, and you can pick him off. That's a big out, especially with Posey in the batter's box.
Big play with a runner in scoring position. Jeremy Affeldt is the left-hander up in the Giants bullpen, likely getting ready for the 8th inning. 3-1 Giants, 2 down, nobody on. Posey is 1 for 3. A ball and a strike. Back in those days, the Phillies, you faced Montreal all the time. You guys were in the same division.
A lot.
And they had some players in that same outfield. They had Tim Raines, one of the great base stealers in the history of the game, and also, was Ellis Valentine still there?
Ellis Valentine, Warren Cromartie.
And that's a foul that would go out of play. Ellis Valentine and Dawson were not only excellent outfielders, they both had tremendous arms.
And I think the best arm that I saw when in my generation was Ellis Valentine. And Dawson, like you said, I mean, he wasn't that far behind him with a quicker release.
2-2. And the curve is low. Full count.
Tony Perez, Al Oliver played first base. Then Andres Galarraga. Tony Scott. Tim Foley playing short. Chris Spire playing short.
And was the kid the catcher?
Oh, yeah. Gary Carter there the whole time.
And that ends the inning. Cole Hamills has pitched well, but he's trailing 3-1 as we go to the 8th. And here's the Ram gutsy play. Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year and first ever back-to-back champion. The 2010 National League Championship Series, Game 6. And after Sanchez hit Utley, there was some bad blood. The bench is empty. The bullpen's empty, except Affeldt stayed in the bullpen because he was coming into the game. And he came in with men on base. He struck out Ryan Howard. He got Jason Worth to fly out to right and Victorino on a ground out to first. And he stranded those 2 runners he inherited in a tie ball game. And that was a key moment in that game. And he came in and gave the Giants 2 strong innings. It was a bullpen game the rest of the night. And that now is one of those indelible moments that will be remembered for a long, long time by all Giants fans.
Well, and you think about it, I mean, what's the code when there's a Donnybrook going out there in the middle of the infield? Everybody has to show up. And he was on his way out when Mark Gardner grabbed him by the shirt and says, you stay here and get loose. Keep your focus.
You're coming in for the next hitter when this all is cleared up, then you're coming in. He says, yeah, but I have to go out. Everybody's out. And he says, no, everybody but you. Well, it looks bad. How am I going to explain it? Well, you'll explain it because we'll win the game. And you'll help us do it. Pablo off his glove. And Darren Ruff, the big turn, and he'll hold on with a single. He's not a particularly fast runner. And Darren Ruff has his second hit, so he leads off with a hit here in the 8th against Jeremy Afell.
And the Giants were not guarding the line either. I mean, they played him at normal depth at third base, and this is just off the fingertips. I've seen him make that play a ton of times this year.
So now Cody Ashe was struck out and popped out to third. And the pitcher's spot due up next. Dominic Brown, bat in hand, has come out into the on-deck circle. Here's Dominic. And in the bullpen, the closer, Jonathan Papelbon, warming up. This is interesting. It's the 8th inning. Papelbon's warming up. That's a strike.
Well, that is interesting. That's not something that I'm sure he's used to doing. Closer's not going to warm up in a game where you're behind.
Well, they've been losing a lot lately. I think they've lost 6 of their last 7. 2-1. A nice save there by Buster Posey, keeping the double play in order, keeping Ruff at first base.
Well, that's significant because Jeremy Afell throws a lot of balls on the ground. Got a good sinker. You got to keep that force in order. Nice play. And once you keep that ball in front, it freezes the runner. That's the goal. Put yourself in good blocking position and then let the ball come off. If it stays in front, you'll freeze the runner.
2-1. And ball 3-1.
This becomes a big pitch.
Cody Ashe. Giants saw him when he first came up for the minors last year. He played his first game against the Giants. Hitting .240. That ball is hit high and deep to right. Pence looks up. This game is tied. So 2 batters into the 8th inning, and the Phillies have tied the game. Cody Ashe's 8th home run this year. And here comes Anthony Reyes out to the mound. One of the Giants' assistant trainers. Something seems to be amiss for Afell.
He has a brace on his right knee. I don't know if he may have caught that right knee and stumbled. I didn't pick it up on the initial pitch. And you can see there's a little buckle there. That's the knee that has the brace on. And Ashe just gets it high, short porch and right. And at times his ballpark looks small, and that particular time it did. And we got a brand new ball game, and Madison Bumgarner gets a workout.
So now instead of Dominic Brown, it's going to be Grady Sizemore.
Well, I think they're determining whether or not that was. See, that's one trip.
They said that was a trip for Bruce Bochy.
They said it's a trip on Anthony Reyes. I mean, I don't understand why you have a trainer come out and that's ruled as a trip.
I mean, unless it's an issue of procedural issue. I don't get that.
Guy who's out there, he's uncomfortable and he's grabbing his leg.
The Bochy started out.
And that's what Joe West is referring to. And Joe West continued on, so that's a trip.
Now it's a ball and a strike to Grady Sizemore. Once the home run was hit to tie the game, Dominic Brown went back in the dugout, and Grady Sizemore, who's more of a on-base guy with some speed, he gets the call instead. 2-1. Sizemore is hitting .309 as a Philly in 94 at bats with a .350 on base percentage. 3-3 here in the 8th inning. 2-2. By the way, Papelbon warming up in the bullpen has not been in a ball game, as you see Javier Lopez, the left-handed, joining the right-handed Romo in the Giants pen. Now Papelbon, as soon as they tied the game, Papelbon sat down. He had not worked in 6 days. There's the ball in the dirt. So apparently, if they had still been behind by a couple of runs, they might have used Papelbon sort of just trying to get him some work to try to keep him sharp.
It's hard for a closer when your team's losing games. You don't get a chance to work. Right now, it does not look to me that Affeld's very comfortable.
3-2 the count. Panic. Well done. And that's the first out of the inning. And out of the top of the order. So Bumgarner, 7 innings, 1 run, 4 hits allowed, 9 strikeouts, no walks, and no decision. Although one of his best pitch games of the year here at home. Cole Hamills also out now. He threw 100 pitches in 7 innings. Gave up 3 runs and 9 hits.
Giants really playing aggressively on the corners in the infield to defend against a possible bunt from Revere. I don't care how shallow you play your corner infielders, he'll still bunt at you. And he can fly.
Call the strike. Revere has been kept off base tonight. He has struck out, grounded out to second, and grounded out to short. And he is a pretty good bunter as well. And he's been a hot hitter. Been on base all the time here lately. And he's a guy that'd like to keep off the bases right now. Not hit very hard. Crawford in a hurry. Got him. 2 down.
Well, you don't think speed puts pressure on a middle infielder, especially on the left side of the infield? That ball just was not hit very sharply. And watch how aggressively Crawford comes in on him. I mean, he knows he's got to come in hard. And that's the kind of speed that Revere has. And hit it very well, and there he digs. Nice play.
Jimmy Rollins going down the line. Ball, but it's well beyond his reach. Fan caught it.
Been a hot part of the yard tonight for fans down there. The ones who've had gloves have been rewarded. Second one that's gone into that corner. Sight. So when you were a kid, did you bring your glove?
You had to bring the glove.
Yeah, I never went without a glove. Had my hat, had my glove, I was good to go. You know, I mean, if I was sitting on the top row of the 5th deck at Dodger Stadium, I had the glove on. And I was thinking I was going to get one.
How many foul balls ever came into the 5th deck?
None.
In 50-something years, none.
But to me, I was ready.
1-2 now.
So
by the way, we looked it up on Andre Dawson.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that Andre tormented you?
Yeah, he did.
Andre Dawson hit more home runs against Mike Krukow than any other player. He took you deep more often than any guy that you ever faced.
Got me 6 times. They weren't cheap either.
2-2. He had a .321 lifetime average against you is all. And he averaged 1 home run every 13 at bats. So if he'd only faced you, he might have threatened the Babes home run record.
Yeah, he was hard on me.
So that is all. Rollins strikes out for the 3rd time tonight, but Cody Ashley on a 3-1 pitch ties the game with this 2-run homer. Pablo Sandoval coming up. Orange and black, the Giants. Check out pregame live and postgame live before and after every Giants telecast on Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports. Tomorrow, back on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, and it would be a 12:30 pregame live. The 105 first pitch. Game 2 of the series. The Giants will have Tim Hudson going against Kyle Kendrick here at AT&T Park.
New pitcher now for the Phillies will be Ken Giles, and 23-year-old rookie having a great year. Look at the strikeouts, 25 innings. So he's had 75 outs, and 37 of them have been strikeouts against just 6 walks, 15 hits allowed, so 21 base runners. I mean, those are unbelievable numbers. And how's he doing it? Well, you're going to see a mid to high 90s and an occasional 100-mile-an-hour fastball and a hard slider. And he thinks strikeout. 6'2", 205-pounder out of Phoenix, Arizona. 7th round pick by the Phillies in the 2011 draft.
Well, the Giants saw him and were very impressed by him last month in Philly. Although Pablo got a base hit against him. Pablo batting left-handed for the first time tonight. He was 2 for 3 batting right-handed against Hamills. And he breaks his bat and drops that single into center, his 3rd hit of the game.
And I don't know how you hit that. I really don't. First time he's ever seen that slider, and a shoe top high, down and in. And he says, yeah, that's where I like him. But you know what, though? If there's any team in baseball that should be used to 97-plus mile-an-hour fastballs, it should be the Giants, because they've seen a bunch of them lately.
They have, for instance, with that Kansas City series, it seemed like every new pitcher that came in was throwing harder than the previous guy. Here is Blanco. His first plate appearance after coming in as a pinch runner for Michael Morris in the 6th inning. 3-3. The Giants, who had led since Morse's 3-run 4th inning homer from that point onward until Cody Ashe's game-tying homer here in the 8th.
Not sign of the bunt at all, so Bruce Bochy being very aggressive the way he's playing this. That's because he swung at the first one doesn't mean he won't bunt at the next one, but so far he's turning Blanco loose.
Ishikawa out on deck with Duvall due up next. Yeah, 96 miles an hour. A little too close to the legs of and the shin and the ankle of Blanco.
Get that left leg out the way. That would hurt. That could have broken the shin bone if he hit him flush.
Ashe plays him shallow at third. Ryan Howard on the bag at first with Pablo. He's got a short lead. In the air. And not caught. Howard will throw to first anyway. So that's not how to do it. And yet it worked.
Well, he pops it up. The hardest pitch to bunt is the high fastball, and here Ruiz kind of knocks it out of the glove of Giles. The guy who makes a nice play on this is Sandoval, because you're frozen on the pop-up. So the Giants catch a break. And I don't know why Blanco gets out of the box so poorly. If he's running on that play, he may have been able to beat that out.
And I thought Ryan Howard had a shot to still throw out Pablo at second, but Howard wants to get the sure out. I think that he did not trust his own arm to make that play at second. We've seen some first basemen lately who I think would have gone after Pablo.
One more time, watch Blanco. He's a spectator right there. That's a fair ball. He's got to be cooking down that line. If he's going hard, he probably is first base right now. That's a mistake.
Well, the other thing is, Ryan Howard, if he throws to second and gets the runner there, all of a sudden they might go for a double play because he wasn't running. So here is Ishikawa. McClure, the pitching coach, had a visit. And that bat is no longer usable. He broke the bat. He'll have to get another one. So because if you're scoring that play, obviously Howard threw the ball to Utley at first, but because Ruiz touched it, does he get an assist?
That's a great question.
Well, I'm not the official scorer, so I don't have to know.
It's under consideration. It's up for review. We'll let you know.
Ishikawa pinch hitting. He's 2 for 7 pinch hitting as a Giant this year.
Ooh, good pitch right there.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, the thing about Giles, I mean, he doesn't have a heavy 97-mile-an-hour fastball. What that means is he doesn't have sink to it. It's pretty straight. But at high velocity, not easy to hit.
That was called a strike. 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other pitch was better than that one. I thought that was off the plate. So if you're Ishikawa, you know now that there's no consistency in that outside corner. You need to go out and cover it.
Under the hands, fouled back and out of play to stay alive.
Yeah, I like that call by Ruiz too, because after both pitches went to the outside corner, one was a backdoor slider, one was a fastball. You get 1 strike, one was called a ball. They both could have been called either way. You get a guy thinking away, and he brings 97 right in on the hands.
One and two. Pablo, the possible go-ahead run at second base. And Giles will step off the slab, swipe at the dirt. It is a nail-biting time here at AT&T Park. The Giants, who had a 3-1 lead into the eighth, now it's 3-3. Looking for a base hit to go back ahead. Very high. 97 again. 2-2. Javier Lopez, the lefty. Santiago Casilla, the right-hander, both up in the Giants bullpen. Joe Panic is on deck. And he struck him out. Foul tip into the glove of Ruiz. Two down. That leaves it up to Joe Panic.
You have to like the at-bats that the rookie Joe Panic has been giving you. I mean, he's a battler. I mean, he's a guy that sees a lot of pitches. He's got a good eye. Uses the whole field. He's got a nice left field approach. You've got average speed at second base with Sandoval. You have a below average arm in left and center and an average arm in right. And with 2 outs, you know that Sandoval is going to get a pretty good jump. So expect Flannery to be very aggressive on this play should the Giants get one in the outfield.
That's a base hit to right field. Bird. Flannery waving him. The throw is there waiting for him. Not close. And the inning is over. Well, Joe Panic, that's the second time in the game that he's had a hit with a runner at second base. And he's not been able to knock in either one. On to the ninth inning. Javier Lopez will come in for the Giants. Complete coverage on the Giants on Sportsnet Central every night at 10:30. Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow, Dwayne Kuiper. We're at AT&T Park in San Francisco on NBC Bay Area and the Giants Television Network. We're going to the ninth inning in a 3-3 game, and with two left-handed hitting veterans, Chase Utley and Ryan Howard, due up here for the Phillies. The left-hander, a veteran himself, Javier Lopez, comes in. Utley is 1 for 3 in the game. 3 infielders to the right of second for him, and that is ball one. Utley is grounded to second. Bloop to single to left and fly out to shallow center. So turned into an excellent play by Pagano. Caught one on the slide. 2-0.
As expected, Giants playing this very aggressively. And Marlon Byrd comes up with a perfect one-hop strike to Ruiz, who takes it out in front of home plate, puts himself in position. So no obstruction there whatsoever, and everything done correctly. And the end of an inning becomes frustrating because of a nice two-out at bat there from Joe Panik, just sort of forgotten because the run couldn't score.
Giants overloaded on the right side of the infield. 3 infielders to the right of second. And Lopez is falling behind. This is not Lopez. This is Affeldt still in there. I beg your pardon. Lopez came off the mound to the bullpen where he'd been warming up, but he did not go out to the mound. He just came back into the dugout. So Javier Lopez not in there, but Affeldt still in. And there's a strike. And Affeldt, who had a very difficult 8th inning, allowing 2 runs, throwing 22 pitches. And he has fallen behind Chase Utley immediately here. He's got a very big pitch to make at 3-1. Just a low strike this time to Alan Porter.
Right there on the inside corner. To me, like Utley was taken all the way. He'll take no more. It's in the strike zone. He'll be hacking.
It was not in the strike zone. That is the first walk by a Giants pitcher tonight. Ryan Howard, the right-hander, Santiago Casilla warming up in the bullpen. After Howard, you got 3 right-handed hitters in a row. And there's ball 1 to Howard. We mentioned this earlier. By the way, that ball was called a strike to Ryan Howard. 0-1 the count. Howard has more RBIs against left-handed pitching than any other hitter in the National League.
So dangerous. I mean, to every field. And like a lot of sluggers throughout baseball history, I mean, he has a lot of swing and miss. But it just takes one, and he can turn everything around. And he does not make 2-strike adjustments either. Not in this situation. He's going to try and hit one in the cove.
Howard 1 for 12 lifetime, and that's 1 for 13 lifetime against Affeldt, who made short work of him here. Third time that Howard has struck out tonight. Now the right-handed hitting Marlon Byrd coming up, the Phillies home run leader. Bruce Bochy will come out of the dugout. You still see Affeldt apparently still fuming about that walk to Chase Utley. Giants make the double switch. Matt Duffy also coming in with Santiago Casilla. We'll be back. with a runner at first and one out. And there is Santiago Casilla in to pitch for the Giants. Also Matt Duffy in to play second base, replacing Joe Panic. Duffy will be slotted in the 9th position of the batting order and be due up second in the last of the 9th. Papelbon has been up in the Phillies bullpen throughout this inning. And Marlon Byrd, the Phillies home run leader, and he has hit a home run tonight, his 23rd of the year, coming up. Meanwhile, on the out-of-town scoreboard, down in L.A. in the top of the 8th inning, the Milwaukee Brewers, trailing 2-0 to the Dodgers, have scored 2 runs to tie that game, and they're still batting with 1 out and the bases loaded. With Brandon League coming in from the L.A. bullpen. There it is on the hand-operated scoreboard here at AT&T Park.
Go you Brewers. At a bid. Definitely score watching time. Not quite yet paying attention to the wild card, like every couple of days. I think September is really for the wild card races. That's when we really start checking it out.
And is that one right over to the Giants dugout? Hello.
Almost picking off a Cupid doll down there. That was one of my favorite booths at the carnival. The Cupid dolls. Get 3 balls, they try to knock those rag dolls off. It was almost impossible.
Even for you?
Well, I was 9 years old.
So you hadn't developed that sharp control yet. Pablo, the second one. Duffy to first. Not in time.
Boy, Chase Utley was breathing down the neck of Matt Duffy. Now this is one second baseman and treating another one in a very harsh way, coming right at him. It looked like his head rattled off the shin of Matt Duffy. He elbows him in the right thigh, slaps him in the shin. I mean, this is all legit. I mean, he's right over the bag. It's just good, hard, clean baseball right there. Now, Matt Duffy doesn't have to like it. And they do not get the back end. Bird just too much speed.
Duffy, who is Ruiz, takes a called strike. Ruiz 0 for 3 in this game. Now with Byrd at first, 2 down.
Tell you what, I mean, Matt Duffy's got to feel himself pretty lucky. He had that left leg down and it was planted, and that thing could have been upended, and he could have had his knee knocked out to left field.
And he's been playing mostly shortstop, not a whole lot of games at second base for him in the minor leagues this year. He said, however, when he was younger in college and whatnot, he played some second base, so he didn't feel it was a big adjustment. But you don't often have your back to that runner when you're the shortstop covering second like that.
I do know one thing. Chase Utley's a second baseman, and there's going to be some time where Duffy's going to get a chance to repay the favor, and he will repay the favor.
And Utley on a team that's going nowhere, 15 games under 500, playing as if the pennant race is still very much in play for the Phillies, which is the way he's always played the game.
Well, he respects the game, no doubt. But right now, you got a kid out at second base, and he's taking inventory. He's got a bruised up left shin, and he's got a bruised up right thigh. And you will not forget that moment.
Duffy moves a couple of steps to his left, more towards straight up second base. 2-1 the count to Ruiz. Ishikawa on the bag at first with Byrd. That one cuts a little bit off the outside. That's 3-1.
Giants play it straight away in the outfield. And you have to with Ruiz. I mean, he goes line to line. He hits it everywhere. Very good at shooting it through the hole on the right side of the infield.
Foul ball into the Giants dugout again. Affeldt and Duvall heading for cover there. By the way, Duffy is going to be up second in the last of the ninth inning against likely against Papelbon, who's been warming up throughout this inning, unless if it's tied, they might send Giles back out there, I guess. 3-2 the count. Ishikawa backs up off the bag now, behind the runner at first. There goes Bird, and a foul ball.
Ball to look out. Dunkirk, I mean, he had every intention of making a play here, but that ball comes up and it almost hits him in the side of the head. Good thing he's got the double flaps on. We're trying to get rid of. All right, well, watch the effort here. Oh, jeez. Let's go, Doug. Way to get dirty. That a bit.
Doug took himself out just moments after Utley took Duffy out. There goes Bird. And it's ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning. And the Phillies have the possible go-ahead run now in scoring position. Bird at second with Ruiz at first and Darren Ruff coming to the plate. Ruff has had a double and a single, and now the runners will advance. And a wild pitch. Giants are giving away an awful lot in this inning. 2 base runners walked, and now both get an extra base on the wild pitch.
Well, I think Buster Posey's going to come out and say, listen, don't worry about that. We're not getting any more. You throw it down the dirt. I'm going to block with that runner at third base. I mean, look at how that thing comes up. And then that's unexpected. He did everything right to block the breaking ball. And every once in a while, hit a little pebble, a little chunk of dirt, and kick high. And you can't do anything about it as a catcher. So that's a big break for the Phillies.
One ball and no strikes to Ruff. 2-0. Meanwhile, the Brewers have just scored 3 more runs in that 8th inning in L.A. for a 5-2 lead. Long throw for Pablo, and the inning is over. The Phillies do not score. Crawford, Duffy, Pagan coming up. inning, and Giles stays in there for the Phillies with a tie game. So Papelbon's only coming in apparently. The Phillies give him a save situation, and Mikey's warmed up a couple of times now.
Yeah, that's 2 humps for him. You hate to have relievers get up twice and then get into a ball game, and if it's going to be a save situation at all tonight for Papelbon, it's going to be that situation. He's throwing a lot down there.
He got up in the 8th inning when they were down 3-1, as if perhaps they would bring him in just to get some work in. He has not been in a game since August the 9th, 6 days ago. Anyway, Giles is still in there. The Giants got a couple of hits against him in the 8th inning, but not a run. And here is Crawford to try and get the Giants going. He is 0 for 2 with a walk.
There is activity in that Phillies bullpen. Jake Diekman, one of 4 left-handers the Phillies have, is getting up. Phillies, they're the only team in baseball that have 4 left-handers of the 7 relievers that they have.
Off the foot. Strike 1. Foul ball. Crawford is flied out to right, walked, and hit into a fielder's choice. He actually bunted, sort of a safety squeeze, but he bunted it right back to the pitcher in the 6th inning, and then Blanco ended up being hung up between third and home and ultimately run down and tagged out by Cole Hamills. Matt Duffy on deck. A ball and a strike.
I think that first pitch fastball in was a mistake. It's just the Phillies are so dominant to the outside corner with the late inning relievers in close ball games. Just sort of by design, their ballpark's so small in Philadelphia. They almost make you hit the ball the opposite way if you're going to leave the ballpark.
Called a strike.
That's the location you're so used to seeing from Philadelphia bullpenners.
The Dodgers, meanwhile, on the out-of-town scoreboard, trailing 5-2 to the Brewers. In the last of the 8th, that was a 5-run, 8th inning rally for Milwaukee. 1-2 the count. And a little breaking ball off the outside.
Giles is walking off the mound like he thought he had strike 3. Well, that's Giles. I mean, he's out. That's okay. That's good. That's strike 3. Let's go. Throw it around, boys.
Ryan Howard. And he gets the put out. 1 away. Matt Duffy. When the Giants first brought him up from Double-A, he was hitting .332 at Richmond. Yeah, that .292 is not right. He hit .332 at Richmond. Into right field, but that's going to stay in the yard. And Bird right at the edge of the track. So 2 down. And Pagan will come up as the Phillies try to get this one into extra innings.
He swung the bat well tonight, got a couple of knocks.
Pagan had a single in the first and a double in the 7th. 2 for 4 in the game.
You know, for a guy who hasn't played all year, I mean, well, had a long break. I should say he was on the team at the start of the year. Then he got injured with his back injury. He was on the DL a long time. He's played every day since he's been back. He's got at least 1 hit in every game since he's come back.
This is his 7th game back. And a 2-hit night. 309 average, 355 on base percentage for Pagan. Hunter Pence on deck. 2 down, nobody on. Giants have 11 hits, 3 runs. 3-3 the score. 2-0. Keeping the ball away from Pagan.
Ooh.
Called that one a strike.
Definitely a pitcher strike. It's not one we saw called earlier in the game, and all of a sudden the width on the outside part of the plate has gotten a little bit bigger, the lefties especially.
Michael Morris still in the dugout. He was lifted for a pinch runner back in the 6th. And slider in the dirt. 3-1. Three balls with a strike to Pagan. Not a guy that, if you're the Phillies, you want to walk in a spot like this because he has the ability to steal a base. Left field, just a kind of a high fly ball to rough, and we're going into extra innings. On to the 10th. Cody Ashe, then the pitcher spot, and then Ben Revere, the leadoff man, due up. 3-3. Into the 8th inning, but Cody Ashe hit a 2-run homer to tie this game against reliever Jeremy Affeldt, and now here is Ashe up in the 10th inning, and he is largely responsible for the fact that the Phillies are still in this game in the 10th inning. Casilla, who got the final 2 outs in the 9th inning, back here into the 10th. And ball 1.
Take a look at the home run off of the bat of Ashe. Watch how flat the swing is. Back spins it right out of here. Now when Affeldt threw that ball, it looked like he had a little bit of discomfort on the right knee where he wears the brace.
Chewing it.
And this becomes a big pitch. You know, you talk about the importance of the leadoff hitter getting that first pit, that first out of an inning. And he's got a challenge right here. And this is a guy with power. He's confident.
There's a strike. 2-1 now.
He's up there looking for a walk, taking that pitch.
Diekman, the left-hander, up again in the Phillies bullpen. The Giants bullpen is quiet.
He'd rather just sit and put it in.
That will end up in the crowd off the left field line.
Nice little 2-pitch sequence there. A 2-0 4-seam fastball, and came back with a a 2-1 two-seam fastball. And he really has a good understanding of the fastball. We're talking about Casilla. 2 different types of grips, 2 different types of movement. There you see deep. Go over the scout report, a little pitch next to him.
Out of play. 2-2. Cody Ashe, who was hitting only .242 coming into the game with 7 home runs in 298 at bats. But he hit the home run to tie this game in a year that has not been a very good offensive year for him. Three and 2.
And once again, Casilla has to challenge that strike zone here.
And that's where I thought was in the 8th inning with Ashe on a 3-1 count. And Ashe hit the 2-run homer. Giants are going to get some action going in their bullpen again here shortly. 95 miles an hour up. Back to the screen. Javier Lopez runs down to the pen. This is the second time in 3 games on this homestand that the Giants have gone extra innings. Casilla pitched the 10th inning on Tuesday night against the White Sox here. And ended up taking the loss in that game. Base hit left center field. Pagan streaking across, cuts it off. Ashe going to try for 2, and he's going to make it. Pagan did a great job of cutting that ball off in the alleyway, or it might have been more than 2.
Just nice opposite field hitting in a 3-2 count. Casilla worked himself into a get-it-in situation. And to Ashe's credit, he didn't try to do too much with it. A location away. Ball up around the belt on the challenge. And just like that, puts himself in scoring position. Sets up a bunt situation now here for the Phillies, and the Giants are going to talk about how they're going to get after it.
They send Andres Blanco up instead of Dominic Brown. Brown had been in the on-deck circle. But now you do have that scenario where they really just want to get that runner over to third, and you would figure Blanco's up there to lay down a bunt.
Javier Lopez heating up in the Giants bullpen. Goes right behind Blanco. You're going to see a left-hander switch hitter left-hander. And now Bruce Bochy's saying, I'm going right to him now.
Blanco, the switch hitter. So a runner at second, nobody out. We'll be back. Second with nobody out. And Andres Blanco up, a switch hitter with the runner at second. Ashe, and we were figuring that Blanco was going to be sent up there to bunt, but Bruce Bochy went ahead and made the move right away for Javier Lopez. Blanco, he's only had 28 at bats in the big leagues this year with 9 hits. And the right side has been his best side, 6 for 17, batting right-handed. He's had a sacrifice bunt from both sides of the plate. Vito Van Revere is on deck. Bunted toward third and foul.
Well, it is a little bit more difficult for a right-hander to bunt the ball to third base than it is for a guy hitting from the left side. And I think that's what Bruce Bochy wanted to do, make it a little more difficult. Plus, he flipped him over on the right side, which gives you a little more time in the infield.
So this is a little inside baseball here. This is cool.
Things that he considers. Pressure in this play is always going to be on the third baseman. Sandoval has to determine immediately if that bunt is one he's going to have to come in on to go to first base, or if he's going to have to go back to cover his bag and allow Javier Lopez or the catcher or the first baseman to make the play on. And remember, Blanco runs well.
Lopez has it over to third. Safe. Javier Lopez thought he could get him, but Cody Ashe beat the throw. And they get nobody out in that play.
Now, it's a dangerous play because it's not a force, and you have to make a throw that's on the left field side of third base. I mean, it's the only way for a third baseman to get back to the bag and put a play on. If he has to reach across his body like that, there's no way to get the arm back in position to put the tag on it. It's a low percentage play. Watch him reach out. Now he's got to come back. And when you're on the move, if you're Javier Lopez, if you miss on that side, the play's lost.
And there's a strike to Ben Revere. Giants had the infield in. Runners at first and third, and nobody out. And Revere, who's been a hot hitter, albeit he is 0 for 4 tonight.
Pure strikeout situation. You can't say you're pitching for a ground ball here with just too much speed with Revere. He's not a likely candidate to hit the ball into a double play. So for Javier Lopez, he's trying to pitch for the K.
Tagging at third is Ashe. Pagan with the catch. Ashe bluffing down the line and cut off by Ishikawa.
That's a beautiful throw. You may have seen McCannon, the third base coach, send him loose with one out. With nobody out, this part of the lineup coming up, they're not going to take a risk. They know Pagan has a very, very good arm. It's a smart arm. Comes right through. And the key here, too, with the speed at first base with Blanco, you have to hit your cutoff, man. It's got to be a perfect throw or you lose the force. And indeed it was. See McCannon right there getting him ready to go. Bluff. But nobody advances. Not Ashe at third, not Blanco at first. And that's a perfect throw.
So one away. Here is Jimmy Rollins, the veteran. Middle infield halfway. So the ball was hit hard to one of the middle infielders. They might go for the double play. Rollins is batting from the right side. He has grounded into 6 double plays. Rollins also has knocked in 50 runs this year. 1 ball, no strikes. So Javier Lopez trying to get out of a very, very tight spot. Papelbon gets up again in the Phillies bullpen. The right-hander, the closer.
Oh, big pitch. 2 times he's won it. That's the strikeout or the strike zone from Mount Porter. You've seen width on the outside corner of the lefties. You don't get the same width on the righties now. Early in the game, you got a little more width to that side of the strike zone. And that's why he runs into some controversy with players and managers, is that it does bounce around. It does change within the game, and that's frustrating.
3-0. The left-handed hitting Chase Utley on deck. Ashe, the possible go-ahead run at third. Blanco at first. That's a walk. And the bases are loaded with one.
Not the end of the world. He had a base to play with.
Chase Utley and his history against Lopez, and the history really favors Lopez. Chase Utley has no hits in 12 regular season at bats against him. 0 for 12.
And he hits a lot of ground balls as a second baseman. He is an outstanding double play candidate despite his speed. When he hits the ball to second base, it's usually on the button right at the second baseman. It's uncanny. And we've said this time and time again, and boom, we've seen it happen time and time again.
The middle infielders double play deck. And almost, it did hit him. Utley took one for the team there. And the Phillies go ahead 4-3. And I say took one for the team. He did not appear to do anything at all to get out of the way of it.
Well, it looked like he kind of half leaned into it. Watch the right leg as he plants. Just grazes the uni. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's how you want to get hit. That will be no bruise tomorrow. You get a little dirt on the uni, but that's about it.
So on a hit batsman, the Phillies get the go-ahead run home. They still had the bases loaded and 1 out. And Ryan Howard, their leading RBI man, 3rd in the league in RBIs, coming up. Howard 1 for 9 with 4 strikeouts in regular season play against Javier Lopez. 3 infielders move to the right of second. Called a strike. Howard is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in this game. See his career numbers against Lopez. Giants bullpen gets busy again. A couple of right-handers warming up. A ball and a strike. That run, by the way, is charged to the record of Santiago Casilla. Gutierrez on the right. Sergio Romo on the left. 2 right-handers warming up for the Giants. Now only Papelbon up in the Phillies bullpen. Deep left. Blanco. He's got it, but that'll be a run. Blanco tags up and scores from third. 5-3.
Great play. But it was also a great at bat because that's exactly what Howard was trying to do. Hit something deep enough to score that runner from third. An easy score. But watch the glove work from Blanco as he goes right over the top, takes on the wall. Very difficult play. Right over the high backhander and boom, immediately takes on the wall, and that's going to be it for Javier Lopez. We're going to have another pitcher.
The right-hander Gutierrez will be brought in to face the right-handed hitting Marlon Byrd. Will be back. Still, the Phillies are batting with 2 men on and 2 men out. Juan Gutierrez comes on for the Giants to face the right-handed hitting Marlon Byrd. Giants will have Pence, Posey, and then Pablo Sandoval. So some of their top hitters will be coming up in the last of the 10th inning. But the big point is the Phillies have not just gone ahead here. They've scored 2 runs now, and they're not done yet.
Now Juan Gutierrez coming in for the first time, going to try and shut it down and keep that deficit at 2 runs. Gutierrez, mid-90s fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Very consistent with the type of stuff that he's brought into the game this year. Watch the first pitch challenge fastball. Bird loves first pitch heaters.
He homered back in the 5th inning. He's got 23 home runs this year. He looks Rollins back to second, and Rollins, if you don't keep an eye on it, Rollins is liable to take off. He has 24 steals this year. Marlon Byrd, his only hit of the night was that home run back in the 5th inning. The only run allowed by Bumgarner. Foul ball, 0-1. Byrd has had a lot of success in the few times he's faced Gutierrez in the past. Two singles and a double in 5 career at bats against him. 3 for 5. Ishikawa in foul territory. And that ends the inning. But the damage has been done. The Phillies have gone ahead. Pence, Posey, and Pablo. The Giants will need 2 to stay alive. Last of the 10th, they are trailing 5-3, and Papelbon, the Phillies closer, will come in, or has come in, and he should be warmed up by now. Warmed up 3 different times.
Third time they got him up. Still having a great season. 1.64 ERA, 46 strikeouts and 49 1/3, 27 saves converted in 30 opportunities. One of the blowing saves against the Giants in Philadelphia. When you take your bats, you're going to see a low 90s fastball with a hard slider and a split. He's got outstanding command, which has always been one of his assets. Don't throw as hard as he used to when he first came up with the Red Sox. Still, good stuff. And he does not make many location mistakes.
Hunter Pence, 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And ball 1, 89 miles an hour.
And that was a location mistake. You always wonder what effect getting up a couple times before you get into a game does to a reliever. I do know one thing. There's not a reliever out there that likes it.
Two and 0.
It's the final in Los Angeles. The Brewers came back down 2-0 in that ball game.
They were down 2-0 in the 6th inning, or in the 8th inning, I beg your pardon, and got 5 runs and another in the 9th. Now 2-1 to Pence.
Pence taken all the way. Not a bad idea, down 2 runs, take a strike, leading off an inning.
Well, if they get a base runner, then that makes the next hit of the possible tying run. And that drops low.
So the first split that he's throwing, and he's down below the strike zone with it. And now for Papelbon, it's a get-it-in situation. But big difference in a tie ball game. This is a situation where he's got a 2-run lead, so he's got nothing to lose here.
Ashe in time. One away. On July 22nd, it was the 9th inning, and Buster Posey hit this home run against Papelbon, and that was Papelbon's blown save. Phillies had a 5-4 lead, and Buster tied the game. The game eventually went 14 innings, and the Giants won it in the 14th. That was the night where Tim Lincecum ended up getting a save for the Giants. Papelbon has not had a blown save since then. He did have a loss the next night, however. He had the blown save one night and an out-and-out loss the next night. The Giants nicked him up a couple of times. Hunter Pence hit the 3-run double against him in the 9th inning the next night to break a 0-0 tie. So he had come on in a tie game, not in the same situation. But then did get the save the next night. So they saw a lot of him in that series. That's 2-1.
Posey taken all the way.
Papelbon, you see his numbers against the Giants. He's allowed 4 runs in 4 innings, or had before tonight against the Giants. Three and 1. Pablo Sandoval on deck. Papelbon used to, in the old days with the Red Sox, he was really at the top of his game as a closer. He could throw 97 miles an hour fastballs and the splitter and a changeup. And now it's 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, when he first got to the big leagues, he was more of a stuff guy. And he's learned his craft. I mean, he's a pitcher now. But he doesn't have to have blazing stuff to get you out. He can locate you.
Jimmy Rollins, 2 down. And he gets Posey the same way he got Pence, and slow chop to the infield. So Pablo comes up with 2 down and the base is empty. And a night where the Giants went into the 8th inning with a 2-run lead after Madison Bumgarner pitched 7 innings, allowing 1 run and 4 hits. They had a 3-1 lead. But the Phillies tied it on the Ashe homer in the 8th, and then a 2-run 10th inning. And now Papelbon is 1 out away for putting a loss on the Giants, and this will be a bitter loss for the Giants if that's the way it turns out. That's called ball 1, just a little bit low, apparently.
Well, certainly not a way that they're accustomed to losing. When that bullpen gets a lead, I mean, they are having a great year collectively as a group. Giants bullpen 22-11 with 34 saves and an overall ERA of 2.63. I mean, they're just not that easy to score off of. That's what makes this such a tough pill to swallow if indeed it does go down to a 5-3 loss.
Ball and a strike to Pablo. Along the left field line, foul. Gregor Blanco on deck. Giants got 3 runs in the 4th inning on a Michael Morse home run to left center, and they have not scored since. Giles out of the Phillies bullpen. Ken Giles went 2 scoreless innings. And that's the look of Buster Posey, and reflecting the mood of his teammates. 1-2 the count. Pablo, he got a little extra on that fastball. Pablo fouled it back to the screen. Pablo's had 3 hits tonight, 2 singles and a double. And his average at 284 for the year now. Giants down to their final strike. 2 down, 2 strikes. 2-2.
Papelbon, very deliberate, not in any hurry. It's the other side of a veteran closer. They are going to work their rhythm. They are going to control it. So there was this shot to go out of the strike zone. He knows, and the league knows, that Pablo Sandoval is an aggressive hitter. But right now, fish ain't biting.
Three and 2 to Pablo with 2 down in the 10th. And into the upper deck on the third base side.
So yes, Pablo Sandoval's put up a fight. Die hard, keep it going. You never know. I guess the one thing that is said most often in the dugouts when you're down late, you never know. Fight, scratch, claw to get a walk, set it up for the next guy, same thing.
Chase Utley, and the game is over. And a loss for the Giants, and a loss that's going to be awfully hard to take. With they got such strong pitching from Bumgarner. They got a 3-run homer from Michael Morse and had a lead into the 8th. But the Phillies win this ball game. The Giants do not gain ground on the first place Dodgers, nor on the wild card leaders. And it is, as you said, Mike, a win that normally the Giants would get leading late like that.
Yeah, you're not seeing the bullpen collapse on a night when Madison Bumgarner absolutely dealt. They just could not hold the lead. Tough loss.
Phillies 5, Giants 3 in 10 innings. That's the final. Giles the win, Papelbon the save, and Casilla takes the loss. We'll be back.